Pokemon is for rapists or whatever.
Yeah.
Pokemon are little pocket monster demons.
They are, but in a good way. It's okay.
So
Jiminy Hanukkah. I'm just like, why are you even, like, doing this? Like, why don't we just, like, buy a half gallon of something tasty and get shit-faced doing a
Exactly.
Let's Play or something, like...
that would be a good. That would be an alright one to watch.
Drinking game out of, like, one of the classic games or something.
Yeah.
Basically gonna happen Saturday.
Might as well. I mean, yeah. If you guys can drive, I mean...
That actually sounds like a good idea. Like play old school Mario every time you get an extra life. Like every time you grab 100 coins or find a green mushroom, take a shot.
I have so many funny ideas.
No shit.
Well, actually, we turned World of Warcraft into a drinking game. We had my buddy Courtney and my buddy Beth and me. We all played World of Warcraft, and our guild was full. It was like they just recruited a ton of people so they could basically kind of do a little money exploit off of them. Every time they earn some money, like a little bit of it goes to us, kind of thing. And so we had a bunch of like scrubby, like terrible noobs, and like every time you like get to level 10, it says an achievement. I mean, every time you do something in WoW, you get a fucking achievement for it. So all day long, when you got a full guild, achievements are popping up, and everyone would say grats, but it wouldn't just be like one person saying grats. It'd be like level 10, nothing big at all, and it'd be like 25 grats, like go across the screen. So one night, we decide that every time the guild says grats, we're gonna take a shot. And so like we get pretty fucked up. We fucked up. And my guildmaster somehow finds out that we're doing this. So she not knowing how crazy our buddy Courtney is, she goes, grats, 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 grats. She says 8 times. And we're like, okay, I'm not gonna take 8 shots. I'm gonna take 8 sips of my beer, but I'm not gonna take 8 shots. My friend Courtney lines up 8 shot glasses. I'm like, Courtney, no. She pours all 8 shots. I'm like, Courtney, don't do it. And we recorded her. She just did a line of 8 shots. No. And by the end of the night, she finished off this whole bottle of, I can't remember what it was. It was like some spicy tequila or something like that. Finished off a whole bottle. Started on another bottle of vodka, which I had to go hide. Finished off this other like quarter bottle of this other like Jack Daniels or something like that. And by the end of the night, like we had to call the ambulance on her. I'm just like,
wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was like, oh, it was bad. She had we got her into the bathtub and then like she's getting kind of cold. We're like, okay, better safe than sorry. Let's call the ambulance on her kind of thing. So
over WoW, right?
Yeah.
Over WoW. Well, to be fair, we probably would have got pretty fucked up, but that got her really fucked up really fast where she wasn't gonna make any more like halfway decent decisions for the rest of the night. So I asked the nurse guy, like, okay, well, like, what time should we go, like, see her at the hospital tomorrow, pick her up? He goes, she's gonna be out till like 12 o'clock, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow. I'm like, shit, okay, so we're gonna try and show up there on lunchtime. He goes, you might even be waiting then for a while.
Yeah.
And Courtney had borrowed $10 from me earlier that day, so she just paid me $10 that like them before we all got fucked up. Well, 8 a.m. rolls by, hear the pounding on the door. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, wake up, open up the door. There's Courtney standing in full scrubs, and she goes, "Give me your fucking money." I'm like, "What? Like, am I being robbed?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "The $10 I gave you yesterday, give me it." I'm like, all right. So I, lower my pants, find my $10 and I give it to her. I'm like, all right. And so she goes and pays the taxi driver that gave her a ride there. So, $10 or whatever. And she comes in and she just starts screaming at me like, what the fuck, all this stuff. So she was pissed that we called. And then she was also, I'm like, she was like pissed off at me. I'm like, I'm just going to be mad, and then, she was pissed off we didn't show up there. And then she said something like, that pissed me off, I can't remember, like, why would you call the ambulance on me? Or like, you guys are bad friends for not coming to see me last night. So then at one point I got pissed off. I go, Courtney, I wasn't going to have you fucking die in my sister's bathtub. I couldn't drive to the hospital because your car has one headlight. I was drunk and Beth wasn't even of age to like drink with us. So what am I supposed to drink and drive? Bring in a minor who's not a minor, but someone who's under 21, to like drink, all to the hospital in the car with one headlight. Like, yeah, we're terrible. And then so she kind of realized and backtracked after that. But yeah, that was the one time I played a drinking game with a video game. So,
jeez.
Yeah, there was a whole lot more of that story that I can't post online because she'd be too embarrassed.
That's insane. Who paid for the ambulance?
I don't know. I'm guessing she did eventually. I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. I've never had to call the ambulance on someone before.
And then have her be pissed about it.
Well, yeah,
Or pissed at you, I mean. Like, she should be mad at herself for doing that. But
well, like she like got so drunk, like she was like peeing everywhere kind of thing. So like, so my sister's roommate comes home at like 3 a.m. at night or something, and I answer the door and I'm like, "Hey, Brienne." She's like, "What's going on?" Because she like, we're all staying in the living room and like there's like some ruckus going on in the bathroom. I'm like, "All right, don't get mad, but Courtney's really drunk. Watch where you step. She peed all over your carpet." It's just like, what? I'm like, it's a long story, Priya.
wow.
I have too many drunk Courtney stories. But to be fair, there's too many drunk Mike stories out there as well. I miss my drinking buddies. My hardcore drinking buddies.
I kind of do too sometimes. It always made me feel like optimistic about my own
Yeah.
alcohol use.
It's like, whoa, I thought I was alcoholic. Hell no.
No, that's just an exaggeration.
Yeah.
God, some of the fucking people I drank with in Corvallis, holy shit. Because freshman year, it's like, I mean, 75% of the people who are there, they can just drink every single day, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect their grades, whatever. But, yeah, so people get really good at drinking, and it's pushed to its limits.
Oh, man. My,
I guess that's one thing that college is good at.
What do you mean?
Drinking.
Well, most colleges are. Any time there's like dorm life, at least on a bigger scale.
dude, the college at the four-way, like, the intersection my college is on, diagonal right across, like, the corner of the, street, Deschutes, like, public house. I'm like, fuck yes. Deschutes is, like, my number one brand if I had to pick one, like, specifically. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I haven't stepped inside there yet.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have a great time.
Dude, Black Beat on tap all day
You're
long.
gonna have such a great time, yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm 15 minutes early for class. Better go get drunk. Except for I'm broke, so I'll have to figure a way around that.
Maybe get a job there.
That'll ruin it, because then I have to show up to work drunk. No, I do plan to get a job up there. So what games Aaron planning to play, or what games? Halo, of course, right?
Yes, Halo's on the list. Resident Evil up the wazoo.
Oh, of course.
Minecraft, Slender Man.
Minecraft is a good game to watch someone play, but it's not like a live thing. You have to be like edited, because there's a whole lot of very dry, boring parts. I don't know how you
Good
can.
call.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Either that or it has to be completely based around the commentary, and just like Minecraft is like something going on in the background.
Maybe that's when we should do gangster rap battles. We're gonna just throw in shit that just hopefully blows the interwebs.
Yeah.
brains.
I want us to be like, this to spread and just be like, whoa, you have to watch this. The stream sucks, but these two guys are going insane. I want to somehow bring a stereo and just like, anytime somebody does something, just like turn it on and just like start doing this, the beat and everything. I'm trying really hard to think about what I'm going to wear. I was thinking maybe like a suit, like dress clothes, and then underneath that, like a shirt that says something stupid. Or like a headband and like glasses and just look like a completely different person.
I do have my Halloween costume that I am like working on sewing up, but it's like a jumpsuit kind of thing out of like the 80s from hair metal. I should just fucking show up in that.
Yeah.
It's like pretty revealing, so like it'd be even better. Like, it's like, what the fuck are you wearing, Mike? It's not Halloween anymore.
You should either do that, or if you want, I have a Green Man costume for you.
Oh my god. That's even better.
I would do it, but I'm not that brave. I think it's all you, though.
Dude, I was talking to Eric. I haven't thought of anything yet, but like, I doubt I'll come up with something in time, so it's gonna like not gonna work out. But I told him like, okay, so like I'm going to design, apparel design school. So like, I'm gonna be like sewing shirts and stuff for class. I'm like, I'm gonna be in Portland, Eric. I should totally do my own, like, put a bird on it. Like, everything I sew for all of college will have like a bird on it. But I have to do my own thing. I can't steal something from Portlandia. It's like, what should I do? I couldn't think of anything, but like, What's that?
A bird.
A bird. Oh, a middle finger bird. Yes.
You should do it.
I don't know.
I've always thought if I could just slip a middle finger to every single picture ever taken of me, like, I will have accomplished so much.
I wonder if anybody's done that.
Well, people have definitely slipped the bird, but...
I mean, like, put a bird on it, clothing.
I don't know.
I know, I hope
That's a funny idea, but
Dude, or, I mean, like, maybe it's just the way I think, because in this class that I have at school, I'm supposed to turn in this anonymous sheet of questions that I, like, don't understand. I don't understand anything in this class. No one does.
yeah.
And so I'm just like, I don't know, what's with this? What's with that? Is this real?
Basically,
And
the
then-
whole lesson plan.
And then, like, right at the very bottom, just very lightly, just write poop.
I had to write a 3-page essay for English class one time, and I'm just like, I was just failing all the time. And she goes, Mike, if you don't turn a paper in, I'm gonna give you detention. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't really want to go to detention. And plus, I hate this teacher. Like, what do I do? So I wrote a page about. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna make this fun for myself. So I wrote like a story from the point of view of Mario going through the first level of Super Mario Brothers. And it was more like an adventure. Like I started out not knowing where I was, and a Koopa was coming right at me, and I jumped on his head and grabbed the first coin. So I did this awesome like story, but it only lasted 2 pages, and I had to go 3 pages. So I'm like, oh, well, here's 2 pages. Like, you can't give me attention. Like, I tried it. She goes, nope, 3 pages, Mike, or I'm going to give you attention. I'm like, fuck. And, so I literally, like, turned the paper in. Like, I got to, like, 2 pages, and I added, like, right after, like, I sprinted off the pyramid and made a jump for the flag, and I grabbed the pole, top of the pole and slid down to the bottom. And Mario just lets out a yell, and it was just one page of just a quote being like, I just turned it in.
Nice.
It was just one huge word.
Dude, the best part about this whole notes thing, though, is that she actually puts them on a projector, and she doesn't notice that it says poop.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just,
That's awesome.
That's gonna be good.
yeah. These are the people I'm going to be working with for the rest of my life, and they're going to be like, yeah, remember that guy who wrote poop on his paper?
They don't drop out.
What's that?
If they don't drop out,
At this point, they have to pass all but 3 of us a term, and, we're like in the program.
Yeah.
But most of these guys are pretty, with it.
Yeah. Plus, they also get a huge fucking stuck with a loan that would suck if they don't finish.
The ones that are stupid, like, they're really good at AutoCAD or something, so, I got plenty of surveying work for them to do.
Yeah.
But, no, most of them are pretty cool. It's been nice.
Good.
Some of them are getting so pissed off, though, like I was talking about earlier, like, just raging at the teachers and stuff. Like, no, this is what I'm talking about. You're not even listening to me. Like, kidding. Like, of course they're not. They're, like, dumb and underpaid and stuff. What do you expect? You're not going to get a better grade by throwing a little tantrum.
Right? Plays,
Like
according to them.
everybody kind of wants to, because obviously the teacher needs to be, they're fucking with us. We want to fuck with them back, but
Yeah.
I mean, just write poop on paper and stuff like that. Like, there's ways of doing
Exactly.
this.
Troll them instead of like call them out.
Like, you can laugh about it, or you could get all like this guy. Dude, this guy twice in 2 days raged at teachers
Oh my god.
and was so mad. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I love big school.
What's that?
I love big school.
Big school?
yeah.
Like, yeah. You get all these characters. Like, every kind of stereotype imaginable almost, like, in my class. I swear, it's weird.
Huh. Yeah. I can't wait though. I'm like sitting in the waiting room watching all the students come in and go out. I'm just like, oh my god, there's so many hot chicks here. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even. Oh my god, yeah. Art school? Holy shit.
Right? Yeah.
And even OSU is
all
bad.
loose and whatnot, all free with their body.
Exactly, right? Like, all hippie and like, I believe that, like, there's nothing wrong with three ways. And let me put that to the test.
Yeah, sign me up. What class you taking next term, right? Yeah, I'm switching majors too.
They're not busy doing any like work, so they're just putting it all into their looks and everything.
Yeah, you got class 3 days a week, fucking financial aid and loans. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I hope. I'm unemployed, sitting by my computer 9% of the day in little Almsville, and I still get like so many stories every day. Like, what is Mike in school in Portland gonna be like? I'm gonna have like fucking 20 stories a day. This homeless guy kicked down the door, and he was just like, I don't know. There'll be some amazing stories.
You're probably right.
I hope.
I've noticed every day I'm like driving to school and I'm just like, this is a crazy ass fucking story. Like what I just saw was pretty crazy. Like by the end of the day, I've seen something way crazier than any of that, and I have at least one thing, and I usually forget the rest. But
Yeah, exactly. There's just too many things to remember.
what the fuck? What are these people doing?
Yeah.
When we were in Corvallis last weekend playing that show at that Inner Zone place with Sleight of Hand, dude, it was a mess.
What happened?
Well, we got there obviously like 2 hours early and nobody else was there. We went to the place and we're like, yeah, we're the band. And the guy's like, oh, cool, you're a band? What do you want? And we're like, no, we're the band that's playing today. And we look around and it's this little cafe and we're like, there's no place to play. There's not a stage or like the even floor space. Like there's tables everywhere.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we're playing a show today. He's like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you then. And then Spencer, obviously, of course, he jumps up. He's like, yeah, do you guys sell like wristbands? I need a wristband, a pink one.
What?
I don't know, dude. So he's like, hey, try this skate shop like down all these streets. So we're like, okay.
So you went to Uprise.
I think is that the skate shop?
It's gotta be Uprise.
So we walked like
Had
all the way
pipes and
around.
stuff?
No, we also went to a head shop though.
Oh.
After that, we went all the way around to the skate shop, which was closed. Then we went and found the head shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we just walked around there and asked him a bunch of questions. And then finally the other bands showed up. And then finally the chick who knew what was going on showed up. And she's this crazy, like, punk lady. Like, she had, like, a safety pin through her cheek and, like,
Nice.
a bunch of, like, mascara running down her face.
Nice.
And, like, missing teeth and, like, a
Not
skirt.
nice.
And she's, like, just crazy. She's just like, yeah, you guys, like, thanks for playing this show. And she's all, like, cussing everybody out. And then there's, like, this group of, like, other, like, legit, like, skinhead punks with, like, leather jackets and boots and everything. And they're just hanging around, and like all of our stuff is like on the street. We're waiting to load in for some reason. And I'm just like, I don't know if I trust these guys. These guys are crazy looking. And then like the crazy punk promoter lady like runs across the street, like rips like a big branch out of a tree and like throws it in the road.
Nice.
And the punk guys were like, dude, she's crazy. Watch out for her.
Nice. What'd you do that for?
She's just insane. I don't
Dude, I
know.
like this chick. I don't even know her.
Dude, yeah, she was on something.
Nice.
And then it was during the game, so like there was a bunch of just drunk people all around the streets and everything.
Yeah.
And then the two bands played, and there's a bunch of people watching. And then we played. Nobody was watching except for the punk chick and the guy who like owned part of the PA. Just these two people standing there, and we played for like 10, 15 minutes. And then Spencer's just like, "We're done."
Wow.
So then we break it all down, and then like a giant stream of people walk by, like right when we stop. I'm like, okay. And then, like, those punks showed up, and they stole, like, this giant, like, arch, like, full of balloons that's just, like, as wide as a street lane. And they're just, like, ramming it into things and everything.
Yes. Dude, that's fucking awesome.
It gets crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So where'd you guys end up playing if there was no room?
On the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
they just moved tables, right?
Yeah, just stacked
Nice.
tables
Yeah,
and chairs.
I've seen shows there.
Yeah.
It's a shit place.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It is.
Yeah,
The sound is terrible.
It might be the best in town, dude. No. They have better places to play, but it's like hard to get. Well, it's not that hard to get.
Yeah, some guy was telling us about somebody's bar, like Harrison's or something. I don't know.
There's the Peacock, which is pretty shitty, but you can usually get a cover band or something there. It's like I don't know. There's one on Monroe that isn't the one that you guys were on, but it's down the road or something. I think I want to say, and they're legit.
You still playing shows, Ian?
The
Bombs Away.
Bombs Away Cafe. Yeah, they actually have a legit place from what I remember.
All right.
Is that what they were talking about, or?
No, the guy said something like Harrisburg or Harrison or something with an H, but I've heard about Bombs Away before, and I don't know, they're really sketchy in actually booking the show, though. Like, they've contacted a lot of bands, and then at, like, the last second, they're just like, no, we're not having a show.
Yeah, they're weird, no. I dabbled in, it's weird. It's a weird scene down there, if you want to call it a scene at all. It's just like a bunch of, it's weird.
When's the last time you put a show, though, Ian?
Oh my god, why'd you ask that? That's such a sad question. No, I don't know, fuck.
I was gonna say, like, I haven't heard, like, you used to invite me to
so
something.
True, like,
what would it be?
It could just, like, flash before my eyes, like, 2 years or something.
Damn. Why'd you stop? Just to get too busy with college?
Probably couldn't find anybody to play with.
It was mostly that. It was like, okay, so no matter if you can have like the coolest band ever in Salem, and it's still you're just playing in front of the freaking
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody ever.
What was the last show we played?
Oh man,
I don't even remember. Maybe Blacklight. Did we play one after that?
Blacklight, where they fucked the sound so bad. Yeah, we played one after that. I thought, but maybe not.
I don't remember.
Was that before or after the fucking sonic sound or whatever, supersonic, whatever?
See, I don't know, because we did that, and then we jammed with that Danny guy.
We never did anything with him, though.
Yeah, and then we recorded Max's thing. So I don't know when the last legit show was, but...
Do you still play under the same band that Ian was in, or was that just a different band you guys had going?
That was a different band. The band I was talking about is Spencer's band.
What do you guys call yourselves?
Sleight of Hand.
Sleight of Hand? Oh, okay. Okay, you said that name. I thought that was the other band you guys were playing with. Okay. I could never play an instrument. I don't know what it is.
You know, okay, I was thinking about this earlier, and it brings me to really... This is weird. Music is changing still. Can I get agreement on that? Or,
what do you mean?
Like, people's influences are becoming more and more specific. And it's harder to find just general people to jam with.
Yeah.
Because there's more musicians, but it's harder to make a band. That just doesn't make sense. So.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And, well, there's two things. It might just be you personally seeing that. I also see that. But I also think sometimes, like, maybe it's just me and, like, what I'm looking at right now has changed. But another thing, I kind of like that it's more specific because it's better than like joining a band. Just like I play everything. I listen to all music except country and rap. You know how people always say that.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's start a band, and then you start a band, and it's like, oh actually, we are not compatible. Like we listen to two different kinds of music. So, you know, thanks.
You still play stuff like Katy Perry? I'm out.
Yeah.
And so it gets to the point where it's more like, well, you're going to kind of just do your own thing almost for a while. Or like me and Jack, just the two-man twofer deal. Like, we've cranked out way more tunes with twofer than any project before, I think.
Yeah.
And it's all just this awesome shit, but it's like, it's kind of like a waiting period because maybe it'll take like a while to find that third person, but then we're going to have the next level of like the next generation of influence from the bands that are big today. We're going to be influenced by them or whatever, you know, it's, and it's just getting more and more complex as there's just more and more shit out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably it too.
Yeah.
A lot more things are becoming mainstream, so there's a lot more influences. And it does make it harder to find like a specific, like way back in the day, there was less bands, so you could just be like, yeah, I like rock music, I like blues music, there you go. Now it's like, no, I like post-progressive shoegaze.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, you had to find that niche and go. That's the only bands I know of that are successful. That's what they did. Anymore.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine how so many bands have found like 3 or 4 like-minded people and you're able to do that, because I haven't been able to find like anybody.
Yeah, it's been tough, huh? We've been looking for
You guys should just name yourself the White Stripes. Do this like 2-band person kind of thing. Just run with it.
That's twofer, man. It's just and you just get people to get in on it in the meantime if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
sweet
traditional way is just not as feasible.
Yeah.
Unless you go down to MI or something.
though. What's MI?
It's the school down in LA for like guitar like performance or something. And,
Musicians Institute.
Yeah.
You just go there and get a degree and
Does the degree help you in that field at all?
It doesn't because you're
same
plugged
as any
in.
degree.
It's like
Yeah.
graduating from a school that guarantees you 80% employment, so they're gonna find a place, or you're gonna find a place.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Usually, that's how theirs.
Because that's like, what's the difference? Is like, something's like, there's a liberal arts and then there's like the other kind of degree. Like mine is kind of like a degree that you don't have to get somewhere, but it doesn't hurt. Definitely helps. You know.
That's pretty much what it is. But you're paying $20,000 a year, if not more, and it's probably like 25 a year now. It's got to be more than 20. But like last time I looked into it was 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like 20.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't know, they put you in a whole bunch of job placement stuff. I knew this one guy who loved to play bass, and he went down there, and I think he did a 9-month, $20,000 program, and the next year he was in a band that was touring in Europe.
Wow.
That's what he did.
Yeah. So I had a buddy on that commented on like one of my status about like signing up for college, and he's like, in all caps, I've seen him do it a couple times to some other people's posts, like, college is a scam. I'm like, first of all, you're like in the Marines, like. See, exactly. Like I'm not like disrespecting the Marines here, but just like don't try and say like whenever you have like a recruiter sitting in college, I mean in high school, like looking for the kid that does go nowhere and pulls him out to like, it's like, yeah, like it's as much of a scam as your thing. Like you got promised all this shit that you're never gonna like ever see. Like, yeah, so who's the scam now? But it's like, if college gets me a job doing what I want to do, like it like gets me a job that I actually enjoy going to, it could be whatever the fuck it wants to be. I don't care if it's a scam. And as long as it gets me a job that I like, then it did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and you just gotta hope that. Yeah,
Yeah, you just gotta hope you get the fucking job, right? But
and a lot of it is just, I don't know. I like going, and I think people should go just to learn something else, because I see a big difference in people who, well, there's a lot of idiots who went to college and it didn't help them too.
yeah,
But I see a difference in people who do go and just learn a bunch of new things, or learn a lot about one thing, and just be knowledgeable about things, and don't go through your whole life being an idiot and thinking all these crazy things.
yeah,
One thing I like about college is that, you go and it's like, all right, so you have a choice of either not to go to college or to go to college when you graduate from high school, I suppose. I mean, what other two choices?
yeah, black
do you
and
have?
white, yeah. You do or don't.
So if you do, you get to see the dumbasses firsthand. You get to test yourself against them and whatnot. But if you don't actually get to experience that. And so, somebody looking at your, resume, they're going to see they have the confidence to go against.
Yeah.
Because they fucking seen firsthand these fucking dumbasses that make it through college. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
I hope that's how people think, yeah.
That's what I've been told anyway, but.
Well, I just heard also like a lot of people at the state end up, they have a degree in like zoology or something,
Yeah,
but they
you
were in
have to
state.
have just some bachelors.
But it's like just having something shows some level of commitment, and so it's true. It's like in that you're like smart enough to get through. If you're smart enough to figure this out, you're smart enough for a state job sort of thing. So like,
Exactly.
at least just to get a degree out of it, But like honestly, like I'm well, I wouldn't be going if I didn't get a degree. But a huge advantage is like you just get to fucking live a little for a couple of years. I'm gonna be in big city from like small town. I can't wait to go to a big city.
Dude, yeah.
And it's moving out again. And it's like it's gonna be fun. So.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be the experience you've never even.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like, you can't even perceive it yet. I'm excited for you so much.
Yeah. And this is all like a week ago. I was like, I got a phone call to come down there.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I was literally like, fuck, I missed the fall quarter for Shemeka to go do boring old programming. So it's like, I went from gonna do boring programming and gonna have to wait like at least a term, if not a whole year, to sign up. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, you're in art school now. Like, just within 1 week. That was pretty crazy. So
That's how it goes.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Fuck yeah.
Vagina break time.
Dude, good call. Yeah. Vagina break. How are they these days? Are they still warm?
They're pretty warm.
Pretty sure. I haven't made contact with one in a while, but I'm pretty sure they're warm. Mike knows about Return of the Jedi or something.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi vagina break. Yeah, totally got that laid to the third movie of Star Wars last night. That was
There you go.
Put your lightsaber in the blast door.
I didn't say anything like that. Why? I feel like a bad person for not saying something like that. I could have just made a joke about Chewbacca or something, like not shaving for a while or something. There's so many things I could have said. Down the trench to the Death Star. Or just even a simple, I'm using the Force. And now, well, there's always 2 other movies to watch, so.
Dude, if you go on Netflix, you can find so many movies that you never liked before that you have reason to like now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That movie sucked, but when you're like bang into it, it was decent.
Maybe start a review site and have like a raw score and then like a score while having intercourse. see what changes.
Especially you could like time it like be like 35 minutes in, that's where you do it, because it gets really boring for about 15 minutes. And
Yeah, oh my god, that's so weird, but this is the only chance I get to say the story. But yeah,
Yes.
I have a movie like that, and it was like, watch the movie, and the movie just got better and better and better and better, and then the movie just got great, and then it ended, it was like, whatever. That memory is sealed, done. 2 months later, go back to the same movie, start watching it, totally bored. It fucking sucks. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah, no, it's not that crazy. It wasn't a good movie, but it was a good time.
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
I've had it the other way around where like I'm watching a good movie and then just like crap keeps happening. Like somebody is making noise or somebody comes over or like I get a phone call and I'm just not enjoying the movie. I'm just like, I don't know why everybody says this movie's so good.
I hate that too, yeah.
Yeah, or like certain movies I'll just never see start to finish. Green Mile, I've probably watched it 6 times. Never seen like a little bit after the middle part. Like I'm missing it's like a very important part. I kind of miss a chunk to it.
So your opinion of the movie is very different. You're like, oh, it's the one where the guy hangs out in the kitchen, right?
Well, literally, it's like the Green Mile. Yeah, the one where the guy he was like a good guy, and then they ended up getting like fried at the end. They're like, yeah, but what about the part where he's got like, isn't it like, do you expect him to like have magical like healing powers? I'm like, the Green Mile. Like, what are you talking about? Go back and watch it. I'm like, what the fuck? I must have fell asleep through this part. That's a very crucial part of the movie, but I didn't fucking see it. It's like this is like just turned from like a nice old time like story, and they just went to like sci-fi, and I didn't even see the sci-fi part like the first 3 halves of the time I watched it.
Who was telling me about that? I think I was talking to like Laban's cousin or something, and they were watching. Oh my god, yeah, that was it. Laban's cousin Kenny would like always rent this anime movie from the store. And like, he would always like skip the beginning because it had like a live action part. And he's like, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the cartoon part. But then when you press like skip on the DVD or whatever, there's a part where like, there's like a sex scene. So he watched it like 10 times without knowing there's a sex scene in it.
Yes.
And then he like lent it to like his little brother or somebody. He's like, dude, there's this part where this guy like has sex on like this comatose girl. And she's like, what? I didn't know that.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Kenny is an interesting guy. He removed me from his friends list. It's one of those ones where I have no reason, idea why, but it's more like there's like 20 or 30 reasons why, and I just don't know which specific one he removed me for.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that guy.
I've only met him in person one time, and like Laban must have told him all kinds of shit about me because I'm just like, oh hey, what's going on? And he's like, hey Jack, I think I've seen you before somewhere. I'm like, I don't know who you are.
He didn't like me, but he is kind of like, well, he's kind of like a Pat, where but he's like more, if you can imagine, more like prim and proper than Pat is. So he's just kind of like, he's like literally, I could post a picture of me and the mankini or whatever. He could just be like, yeah, I'm done being friends with Mike, just over like me posting a picture sort of thing. He's very just like, I like my comfort zone, and if you like step into my comfort zone one bit, like, nope, you're gone. He didn't like me until when we were at KamoriCon, until I started telling these stories about, well, you guys didn't go to State High School, about Mark Nelson, this really, really weird kid. But
Mark Nelson?
Yeah, I used to troll him all the time, though. It was, I would talk about him, but it would be like an hour-long like montage of weird stories about Mark Nelson that I only half remember anymore, but he was a weird kid. But yeah, Kenny definitely liked, we called him the Miles Files, because his name was Mark, but Pat always called him Miles, and he'd get so pissed. He's like, my name's Mark, and Pat would just call him Miles all the time, and he'd get so pissed off at it. Yeah.
Pat told me about him. Apparently, he's just really like autistic or Asperger's.
He's
kind of
almost,
guy.
yeah, Asperger's would be almost more like what he was. Like, he wasn't like retarded, but he was very socially odd. And yeah, like he would always have to go to class extra early, like, and so he would like pull his backpack straps, like he'd like put his like they're almost suspenders. He'd like fist them, and then he'd like kind of like almost try and cross them on his chest, and then he'd go down to this weird angle, like when he's like running, so he'd like be leaning forward, and he'd just run from one class to the next, and everyone would call it. They'd be like, oh, there goes Mark going Mark speed again instead of Mach speed, and like, oh dude, or like I used to, I'd have to do my diabetes shit before lunch. So I'd always skip out of PE, do my diabetes stuff, and then, I was supposed to go back to class, but like, who fucking cares? So instead of going back to class, because there's only like, a couple minutes left, everyone's done in gym. So I'd just go stand by the lunch door, but everyone can see me from the gym, but no one fucking cares. So, it's like, there's Mike, who cares? Well, Mark is super fucking like anal about these weird things. So he'd always get pissed, and he would like try like different things. He'd walk out there, and then the teacher would tell him to go back, and he'd be like, well, he's here. And they're like, where are you supposed to be? I'm like, I just did my diabetes stuff. And I came out, they're like, well, go back to class. So every now and then I have to go back to, but it's like, I just, the next day go back out there again. He'd try and tattle on me. And every time, like, he just could not stand the fact that I'd get out there first. And that's what brought on the trolling. I just fucking did that to him for all the time. But, so I don't know. Mark he was an interesting guy, but he definitely got a lot of our trolling. Like, he used to say, like, there's this rumor that he microwaved a cat. And
Who started that?
I don't know, but the thing is, I think it's true, is why we're like, because I remember I'd always pick on him, and so I'd be like, so Mark, I heard you microwaved a cat, and he'd get pissed off and he'd leave or something like that. Well, one day he decided not to get pissed off and left. Like, he just had the mood swing. He'd actually talk to me. So he's like, I didn't microwave a cat. I'm like, what did you microwave? And I expect him to be like, nothing. But no, instead he came back with, I microwaved a bug. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, and then so a bird went in after the bug. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? I'm just like fucking making shit up. I'm like, so is that when, so I'm like, this is what he's saying? Like, he microwaved a bug and a bird went in there and the cat chased, like, it's a fucking weird story, but I could see how he's like oddly going to that. So I'm just like, so is that when the cat went in after the bird into the microwave? And I expect him to be like, yeah. Instead, he's just like, I told you I didn't microwave a cat. I'm like, so you microwaved a bug and a bird, but not a cat. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Or he was one of our friends was friends with him, and it was some dude, and I'm always like, he's like his only friend at school. So I'm like, hey Mark, meet any hot chicks lately? He's like, no, that's gross or something like that. I'm like, I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, you don't like boobs? Just trolling him again, expecting him just to be like, fuck you, I like boobs or whatever. He's just like, no, boobs are gross. I'm like, what? Like, do you not like girls, Mark? And he's just like, no, girls are gross. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you have a crush on Billy, Mark? And he's just like, I can't remember what he said, but he said something like this is probably going on like 8 years ago now, so I can't remember all the stories, but he said something really fucking gay about Billy. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I set these trolls up just to like embarrass him, and instead he just like runs with them all the time.
Yeah, when Pat told me about him and Laven told me about him, we looked it up, and he had like all these like blogs on YouTube for a while.
Yeah, the mile. No, I can't remember what he called them.
Yeah, obviously not the Miles Files.
Yeah, not
but
the Miles Files.
He would talk about like, because he lives in Staten, right?
Yeah.
I think he worked at the cannery.
Yeah, yep,
maybe
works
he
at the
still
cannery.
does. And he would just ride his bike everywhere because he wouldn't drive.
Loves his
and
bike.
He'd tell all these stories about like, yeah, today like I tried to do like a wheelie on my bike and it fell and all this stuff. Just all these long videos, and I can't find them anymore. But we were Googling him again, and we found like his dream. He has this post on this dream diary website.
Oh God.
And he has this like long dream about like him in a video game world and like all these starfish are eating him and everything.
Well, it's really weird. Like, people on that video, like that, I don't know what you call them, the vlogs he did. People would like they went viral because everyone knows Mark as a weird kid, and all of Staten was watching him. And I mean, he was literally getting at least like considering like Staten High School was like at the time it's like 300 kids or something like that. He was getting at least 150 views, which is like that's half the high school fucking watching your videos, right? So he would people would send me like he'd like send me questions and I'm gonna answer them. People would literally so like the whole high school's watching, and he's already like kind of like a shut-in kind of thing, so he doesn't talk. Well, on camera, I guess maybe he's not embarrassed on camera, but people would send him questions like, "Who do you have a crush on?" And so like he can screen these questions before but like he wouldn't even screen. I think he'd read them as he goes. So to me, so I can understand like I would just like see it, not read it out loud. He'd read it out loud. So then I'm like, wow, you read it out loud. I expect him to be like, I'm not going to answer that. Instead, he'd be like, well, I've always kind of, had a crush on blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? He just said like, and then he'd be like, but she didn't like me. She kind of shunned me. So then I kind of had my eye on blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. He is so like hard on his sleeve when the camera's on him. It was amazing. They were wonderful. I want to go find them now. They're awesome.
Yeah.
But like he had no discretion. Any question you could send him. I think he even addressed because I don't think it was me. I think it was someone else, but it's because it's been too long to remember now. Me or someone else sent him a question about the cat in the microwave. Did you really microwave a cat? And then so on the record for camera, he goes, "No, I did not microwave a cat." But it's just like, well, Mark, you've told me different things, but at least he actually even brought it up. Like he just addressed it. I was like, wow.
I gotta see this fucker's face because I've heard half these stories. I'm thinking. Like,
I'll find
legendary
them.
State and high school
Yeah.
stories. And only 300 kids. I knew a lot of them.
Yeah. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys.
Please.
Yeah,
yes.
because I can't remember his YouTube thing at all. I looked for him a while ago and I couldn't find him again.
He posts things and it was so hard because he was one of those people like, he's on my friends list and I want to troll him. But if I troll him, he'll remove me from his friends list and I'll never get to troll him. So it's like, you have to half troll him and then wait for one really good one and accept that you're going to go out with a bang. I like kind of half trolled him a little bit. And then like a period of time went by where he wasn't on Facebook that much and didn't talk. But I'd still see every trickle of a post every now and then. And then one day, I don't know how I noticed, but I'm like, hey, Mark hasn't posted forever. I search him, like, unfriended. Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't ever get a good troll on him. I don't know. Part of me thinks he may remember. Okay, it's like, we troll him at high school, me and Pat. And that's how annoying this kid was. Even Pat was all for trolling.
Yeah, seriously.
And so me and Pat are talking to him. He stops dead in his tracks, whips out this notebook, this like little handy dandy notebook, whips it out, pulls out a pencil or pen, and writes to me. He goes, "All right, what's your guys' names?" I go, "Why are you going to report us?" He goes, "Yep." And like at that, like, don't tell us you're reporting us because we're not going to give you like names, right? But instead, I'm just like, and he's like standing by a picture of strawberry shortcake. So I'm like, I gotta go come up with a name. And I was trying to think like there's only like 2 black kids at school, so I'm just like, Joffrey, that was his first name. I'm like, Shortcake. So he's like, Joffrey Shortcake, okay. And then he writes out Pat some, persona name. And
I can't remember, but yeah, Pat told me this too.
Yeah, so then he goes back to school, like the next day when we're following around. He stops dead in tracks. He goes, "You guys lied to me. There's no blah, blah, blah." Oh, yeah, he goes, he looks at Pat, he goes, "There's no blah, blah at the school." And he looks at me, he goes, "And the only Joffrey's black."
Like he went to the office and like reported things.
They're like, "Well, the only Joffrey was black. Was he a black kid?" "No, he was white." "Well, that name doesn't exist then."
Fucking Joffrey was another one of those characters you got like millions of stories of, I bet.
Kind of.
He's pretty messed up dude.
I don't know, like him. He's one of those kids where he's another one where I wanted to troll him, but not too hard. But
Yes.
but literally every post he made was just one I could not resist, and it just took a week of him friending me. I was off his friends list. It was
Yeah.
too quick. Like I just could not stand it.
Dude, I can't even imagine. That must have been surreal.
I did yell at
That was
Joffrey on Facebook the other day. He said, one of my old buddies, Chris Ramirez, posted something about he did a Bulbasaur Pokemon pumpkin carving, and it turned out great or whatever. And I said something like everyone's making Pokemon ones. Like my cousin did Haunter, my friend did a Gengar, and a couple other ones. And then I said something like someone else said something after that about like their Pokemon comment. So there's like at least two, but I think there was three, but either way, it was 100% comments about Pokemon. Joffrey comes in about some random bullshit that no one fucking cares about. So I just all caps him like, this status is about Pokemon, GTFO. And I just like laid into him. And he just like said, he's just like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, no, it's all right. I just take my passion very seriously. And like, fuck you, no, I don't even care. His name on the he's a producer, or he's a music producer. So his name on Facebook is Joffrey Sin Records, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the fuck his last name is, but it's like Sin Records. That's so you. Oh God. He is probably, and this is a tough list to make. Like the tough list to get the top 5. He's probably number 1 most annoying person on this entire earth.
Whoa, you might be right. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could tell you every story I knew about Joffrey, but there are some things that
Well, like there's
I
this,
might get thrown in jail for telling you guys about, because wow, yeah, I
Well,
didn't report that. Like
it's like, you know, some people are yeah, right?
like he's a fucked up dude.
Well, some people are
He's
annoying,
weird.
like
He's
Fester.
just- yeah.
You know, like Fester's annoying. Joffrey's like so annoying to the point where it's not even funny. Like at least Fester, I can get like I can put up with it and get a couple stories. Joffrey's just like,
Joffrey's personality.
it's like Joffrey's like,
He's just an awful guy.
yeah, it's like you didn't get any stories from Joffrey. Like literally, I talked to him for 5 minutes, and
I
to
wanted
get
to die.
yeah, it's like I was gonna say, it's like literally to get a story, it's gonna take 30 minutes. I got 5 minutes into it, and if I would have tried to stick it another 5 minutes, I would have committed suicide. So I couldn't get a story from Joffrey.
Not worth it.
Nope.
No.
It was that bad. Ugh. Yeah, I can't think of. I mean, there's a lot of really fucked up, annoying people, but then Joffrey having to spend like the decent amount of time around to find out how annoying he is. Yet he still like beats all of them out. There's a couple other kids that you probably won't know, but like, do you know who Trevor Tiger is?
Sounds familiar.
Dude, he was just bitching all the time about like fucking Oregon lemon laws. Like, I buy this car and it goes bad and I'm stuck with it and all this stuff. And it's just like, you were a fucking idiot. You're like, you don't have a driver's license. You don't have a job. You just bought it. And this is back with like a couple years ago when gas was like this, like 3 years ago when gas was really expensive. You just bought a straight 6, like inline, like Jeep, no job, no license. And you bought a Jeep with a cracked engine on it. Like, what the fuck, you know?
What?
Yeah. And he's bitching about it. I'm just like, you're a fucking retard. And that was the one where like, he's just like, you're always negative on all my statuses. Like, and then unfriended me. It's like, you're just one of those people that give me nothing. Like, I can't be positive when you're that fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that kid, he's got a gorgeous girlfriend. She works. He's still unemployed. I doubt he even has a driver's license kind of thing. He's like he's just like, you know, the derogatory term, like he's just a little faggot. That's all. That's the only way to explain who he is. He's just a little faggot. And it's like, he's so fucking annoying. Well, so his girlfriend, they decide to move out of his dad's house, right? Because his girlfriend and him were living at his dad's house. They move out to his girlfriend's sister's place. I heard this from my sister. They move out to his girlfriend's sister's place. He still has no job. So he's living rent-free at his girlfriend's sister's place. He can't stand the sister. Like, he can't, like, not stop arguing with, so they have to move back to his dad's. It's like, you were getting free rent. The only, like, you could call putting up with her your rent payment, and you couldn't even handle it. That's how much of a
Yeah.
doucher you are.
Wow.
So he's a contender against Joffrey, but Joffrey still smokes him, I think.
Well, and it's like, you know what? All right, fucking hate her sister however much you want.
Yeah.
Get out and get a job.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna move out, like, that's cool and all,
Yeah.
but you'll get a job. Like,
you
yeah.
got a fucking free place.
Yeah.
He treats his girlfriend so bad. It's like, God damn it, just leave
That's how it
him,
always
please.
goes. That's how it always goes. I've like come to the realization that girls, if they ever do come around, it's not until they're in their late 20s. And otherwise just look at them like they're just blank, just orifice, like not orifices, but just globs of matter just walking through space and time, because it's not worth anything more than that.
Well, you know, a lot of people have made things work, so it's like I got hope, but goddamn, like some people are like, why are you with the most annoying guy I know? You're fucking gorgeous.
But that's the thing. It's like that's the story more often than not, and it's
Yeah.
like almost 100% of the time.
I totally agree. I don't want to sound euphoric or anything, but every time I have like a conversation with any of my friends, girls or anything, and like all the people I know, except for you guys, I guess, but like most of the people I spend my time with are just idiots.
Oh,
Whenever I
God.
talk to one of their girlfriends, I'm just like, okay, well, they obviously fell for a loser. And then they're telling me about all the stupid stuff. And like, I even hear stories about fights from all that. And I'm just like, how old are these people? These people are idiots. Like, how, like, oh, they're pregnant now. Good.
Oh
Great.
God.
Yeah, they just drop off the
Good,
planet.
good job.
And then by the time they're through that, you know, like who gets pregnant early, then they got like who's like not gotten pregnant, but also like not had an abortion, aka is really fucking stupid or something, and
Yeah.
like, you know, it just like it's slimmer and slimmer. But there's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I've seen some success stories, but it's girls are just no. People, society, it sucks.
So now that we got rid of 100% of our female listeners, we can really talk about the good stuff.
Obama ruined it.
Thanks, Obama.
You wizard.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, did you get oh, I feel bad. I just like, it just dropped off my mind when I was going to bring it up, but, what's, oh, there we go. It's back. Any more, engineering, spengineering?
I was gonna ask that.
I've been so busy. I've kind of spaced it. I feel terrible, but
I want to say this engineering smengineering. Man has been washing his clothes for too long now. There should be a better way of doing that. Engineering smengineering.
I think we need to make laundry machines smaller so you can do smaller, faster loads instead of having to like load up and wait and save up a bunch of clothes, you know, and just do one big one. It's just like, man, I want this clean like in an hour or like 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
but they do that.
Do 10
It's,
minutes.
now that we know female listeners, it's called women.
What, do they wash it by hand or something? No, I mean, like, you know, whenever you do laundry, you
Yeah.
gotta, like, you don't want to waste a load and just put in, like, 2 t-shirts. It's just like, man, I want this clean, like, soon.
Yeah.
Like, I want, like, this big washing machine where I
Yeah.
can just put in, like, one thing.
I'll literally like, well, better go take a bath, so I have to wash these, like, this towel now and like other things. Like, yeah, I hate that. And that's still with doing the minimal load possible on the washing machine.
Yeah.
Another thing. Man has been spending just as much time each evening cooking dinner and washing dishes for at least 60, 70, 80 years now. That's fucking engineering schmengineering. That's fucking bullshit. That's 3 times a day, motherfucker. Fix that. Engineering schmengineering.
Same with washing machines, though. It's called women.
I reuse dishes as long as I can.
So do I.
Like, if they're not visibly dirty, it's clean.
Whoa.
Not only that,
Get a paper towel and wipe
like-
the crumbs off. It's like,
I save all my like little plastic cups from Circle K and shit like that. Like, I just like drink out of those more often than anything else. Like a lot of
I don't
times.
know about plastic.
Well, I drink a lot, like big drinks. I don't know why I've always like drink a lot or whatever. So like to me, it's like the biggest cup in the house is my 44-ounce cup from Circle K. So I might as well use them and
Yeah.
like put like 4 or 5 tea bags and then make a big 44-ounce tea instead. Like I just use that all the time. But
And I don't know if
Yeah.
some people like cooking, but I don't really like cooking because you just put in like so much time into something you're gonna eat in like 10 minutes. Like I really hate
Yeah.
like cooking like for an hour and preparing all this stuff, and then it's just like, okay, now I'm gonna eat it in 10 minutes. You know, it's not worth it.
Some ways you're right, yeah. I do like to throw on some tunes or something and make something nice.
I do I like
in a while.
I'm the exact opposite. Like, well, I don't
Yeah.
like to spend so much time on cooking, but like. Literally, like, I'll tell people, like, okay, I'm gonna hurry, I'm gonna make this roast beef sandwich. Like, most people are like, I can kick a roast beef sandwich out in like 5 minutes. Me, dude, like, me hurrying. So, like I said, Star Wars was on TV the other night, and I was just like, I was making a sandwich, and I'm like, I just wanna fucking get back and watch some Star Wars. hurrying my ass up took me like at least 15 minutes, if not 20 minutes, to make me a sandwich. Like I just can't. Like everything has to be perfect. But
Does it taste better when you put more time into it? 'Cause that's what I hear from some people.
it like probably tastes like, I don't know. To me, I got like a real like eye for food, or like you probably say tongue for taste for food. But like, so like to me, it's just I can't not take those corners. Like I really wish I could. I wish I could just drop it and just like make a quick one. Save me a lot of work, but I can't. I just love quality in my food, and I can't help it.
Yeah.
Everything, like I can't do mac and cheese from a box. I have to go buy like, there's like Winco sells like those like a cheddar sauce, and then if I'm like don't have the cheddar sauce, I'll just take Alfredo, but like just cut like cheddar and add it to it. But I have to like make my own like makeshift like cheddar sauce out of Alfredo and like fresh cheese, and then boil my mac. Like I can't do anything nice and simple. Like it like back before I got my food stamps, I was like starving to death. Like I literally dropped down like 98 pounds before I got food stamps, and we'd go over to my buddy's like grandma's, and we'd go get like pizza pockets, which is weird because I used to like pizza pockets. I don't know what it was, but like I would be like I literally hadn't eaten like a day and a half. There's a pizza pocket, and I'd eat like 75% of it. I'm like, man, I can't eat any more of this. If I like, it tastes so gross that if I eat like another bite, I'll puke it up. And it's just like, I haven't eaten in a day and a half, and I'm still like refusing food, like because I'm that picky. Like it's like not a blessing, it's a curse. People like, you should get less picky. Like if anyone wants me to be less picky, it's fucking me. I just can't be less picky.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I learned to cook. No one can make something just right. So engineering's been engineering. Let's get something that cooks food for us.
There's those things. I'm trying to think of other things that really haven't been improved in like really the theme is like 75 to 100 years. Well, hasn't even gotten really any better.
I know, now I got
a couple things that I just think is bullshit. We do those things every day.
Raking leaves.
You know what?
Raking leaves.
We got like riding lawnmowers.
Don't even get me going on raking leaves. Don't even get me going on
Really?
raking
I just let 'em sit.
Oh my god, exactly. Raking leaves is a fucking problem brought upon themselves. Everybody needs clean clothes. Nobody needs to rake leaves. They will die. They will fertilize the yard. That is the worst that will happen.
Yeah.
That is the worst that will happen.
You know what? I got an engineering actually.
Please.
Like when you can tell like your stomach's making weird noises, you're like, fuck. It's gonna be a nasty shit. Where's the vacuum that you just plug into your butthole and it just sucks it out, and that way you don't have to like a nasty cleanup later?
I actually, you know what?
Isn't that called a colonoscopy or something? Like they have that.
Okay, I have 2 points on this. One, there's actually this like powder you can get. It's really super fucking cheap. And it makes it so that your poop doesn't smell.
Oh, nice.
And it's flavorless. You can put it in anything you want, and you should just take like a teaspoon of it a day.
But it's smelling like I'm proud of my smell. I just don't like the cleanup.
Yeah, that is what. But it's still, you're saying, why don't you have this so there's no weird smell? Well, all right. And I was talking to my uncle who was totally stoned one day or something, and wanted to tell me about his friend's patent. His friend made a patent that is like this toilet has a vacuum around the liner, and basically you just turn it on, and it just is constant suction of whatever you can throw at it.
Nice. The air, you mean?
All the air.
All right.
Just sucks it right from there. It doesn't let it go to the ceiling.
Because like on a serious note, like I could see the engineering risks. Like you don't want to like suck someone's insides out, but like NASA needs to get on that, like literally get on that shit and figure it out. Because I am tired of McDonald's poops. Like I just don't want them anymore.
Dear God, I know.
It's like protein days where like just eat a shit ton of like just like a whole bunch of protein and no fat. It's like, I wish every poop was like this. It's just
Another thing that I've seen is they make a product called I can't remember what it's called, but I saw a commercial for it on
Is
YouTube.
it Poopery?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you put it on the water and it makes like a film on the water.
Yeah, it's so amazing. It literally does exist too. It like they say like in the commercial like this really exists, but like almost stating it makes you wonder. But like my aunt's like they sell in the shop next door to where I like do hair. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't care about the smell. I just care about the cleanup.
Well, all other countries have bidets.
Yeah, I was almost thinking like there is a bit that, that's kind of thing, but I don't want to wet ass, but I guess you could just dry in your ass when it's water is a lot better than drying your ass when it's McDonald's shit.
whenever I can, I always try to time it where I just take a shit and then take a shower. That's the
Yeah.
best.
That is.
Oh my god! I had an argument with some guys at school about that. Can you believe you'd argue that?
Yes.
Like, somebody like this guy was telling us about. Oh my god, he was going into some nasty shit. We're just like, dude, you can time this. Like, you're a human. You can control these things and like take a poop right before you shower every day. Just do it that way. Force yourself. You're just like, what the this and the that, and we're just like, no! It was awful.
That's pretty good.
People's kids, man.
I can't think of any other engineer. I imagine Ian's house, like, in, like, 30 years. I can imagine, like, Ian's got, like, all these wires and, like little metal contraptions and,
Bunch
like,
of pulleys
stands.
going everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, I imagine, like, your house is gonna be like Wallace and Gromit's house, and, like, you can have, like, something that, like, makes pancakes for you in the morning, and, like, another thing that, like, sucks the poop out of your butt in the bathroom, and another thing that just, like...
I'm gonna have one of those toilets that, like, tells me how sick I am every day.
I can imagine that, though. Like, I almost kind of want a house like that. Like, I'm not knocking it.
I will design one for you.
So efficient.
Yeah, I can't think of any, like, a lot of things that, like, that couldn't be automated for the most part. Like, certain, like, cooking, like, for the most part, like, that could all be automated. I'm not sure what
I'm
couldn't
just
be.
waiting for transportation to become automated.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the biggest waste of time.
Yeah, I did see a
I don't know.
a
Maybe
pretty
there's
cool-
a bigger one. I don't know.
What was I watching? There was maybe it was Nova with my dad last night, but there was a car that was going around a racetrack that wasn't just like a standard like NASCAR track. It was like pretty windy, and it was hauling ass. Like, it was like a race car kind of thing, just sliding, hitting the red and white bumpers on the edge corners, but it was going around the track as fast as it could. And there's a guy like with his hands like an inch from the steering wheel in case he needed to take over, but the reporter was sitting next to him. He's just like, "You're not doing anything right now." And he just kind of like puts his hands up, like not touching anything. And he was whipping around the track. I'm like, it's not that far off.
It's not. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but there's so many things.
Safety concerns that
Yeah.
like it works 99% of the time, but that 1% is gonna fucking get you sued. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
What have you guys heard on stats wise? Because I've only heard good things about automated driving.
And like the kind of automation they're working on too is like very complicated. Like they could like do slot cars and take all the complication out of it, but it's a lot of more
that's
work.
a lot of infrastructure.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
I don't know, I think it'd just be cool to have bullet trains.
Well,
So,
hell yeah, or some kind of vacuum tube trains like we were talking about last time, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
no.
I mean, cars on road, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things to think about, this and that about. You got to keep everything in the same conditions or within the same percent of the conditions so it all works right. But
Yeah.
I think if you because I think, cars on asphalt is more just meant for manual everything. I mean, sure, when you get in the city, you have, like in Portland, they have like the train cars and everything that do it. But there's so much just that needs to be left up to the human, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's just certain things computers aren't good at, and that's what they're trying to work around. But it's really complicated to make make computers do certain things. But,
Yeah, and you know what? At the same time, there's probably a tug of war between doing that or just saying, "Fuck it, let's all telecommute."
yeah.
That'd be nice.
A lot of places in California, they're just all about telecommuting, and even like up here, I know
Yeah.
a lot of engineers telecommute.
I
Hope
saw
so, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking badass.
I saw something else interesting in science the other day. Was they've had some recording, like, I don't think it was necessarily a satellite, but pretty much a satellite as far as any of us concerned. But
A drone?
it was like some kind of like satellite. It revolved around Mars like 12,500 times or something like that, recording it. So I guess they got like pretty much a whole 3D recording like of like the Mars like landscape, pretty much the whole planet. I'm like, that's fucking sweet. Like I saw a video of it, so I don't know if you can like personally tour around Mars if you wanted to, but there was a video that they, show all the big like mountains and volcanoes, like ancient volcanoes and lava flows or stuff on Mars. It's pretty fucking sweet. I was like, that's crazy to think, like 50 years ago, we hadn't even landed on the moon, and now we're like, you could take a 3D tour of Mars.
You're right. Yeah, it's been 45 years or so now.
Yeah.
Huh?
So it's like,
Cool, yeah.
how fucking far we came. Like, wow, we're like, we have 3D views of Mars now. And that's pretty cool. I found that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and you can actually do Google Mars.
Huh, really?
Yeah, there's Google Mars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's the Google Moon, Google Mars.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some fucker to find something that was built on there and just, prove Ancient Aliens on History Channel right once and for all. Because everything on there is pretty believable.
Bob started talking to me about that. Good old Jesus.
Did he really?
He was like, I was watching Ancient Aliens. Like, he was just talking about how arrogant we are as a species to think that no aliens has ever visited Earth in the millions of years it's been here. I'm just like, all right, Bob. So like another like intelligent race has lived on Earth. That's like plausible. Like, sure. But like the fact that like you're basing it off of absolutely no evidence, like,
And what does it fucking matter, Bob?
Yeah,
Shut
right?
the fuck up and do something with your life. Like, get off of meth and get a job, maybe.
dude, he was telling me his
Fuck.
wife, dude. So Bob is like 52, I believe. He said his ex-wife, who he's been divorced from for 2 years, his ex-wife, because Bob's 52, his ex-wife just turned 35. What the fuck? And she was loaded too. She used to be like, well, I shouldn't say loaded, but like, like she's pretty well
Could have
off.
supported Bob.
She was making like 80 or 90 grand a year. Like,
Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's plenty for Bob's habits.
yeah, it's like, wow, Bob. Like,
It's like 4 ounces of weed a day, but
I can't remember why he said why he got divorced. How do I forget that? But
Guess she's not quite as stupid as him.
dude, we were working on this houseboat. So me and my dad and Bob were up doing the electrical for this air conditioning and heating unit on a houseboat. And the whole thing is just run by rich old people. Like, that's everyone there is rich and old. And you're not supposed to smoke down there because it's hard to get like a fire. Like, you think like you can't smoke on like a dock, with a bunch of houseboats, but like you're sitting on water. But by the time the water would extinguish your fire on a houseboat, like your house is literally burned to the water, to the ground. And so like it makes sense, no smoking, because you can't really get a fire truck down there very well. And so he's just like bitching about these old people. Like he's like smoking, and the heating guys are like, you're not supposed to smoke down here. And he's just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, watch one of the old people try and go report me. It's like the whole time he's telling me stories like, yeah, my fucking ex-wife, and all. I'm like, Bob, like there's old people all around us. They pay a lot of money to live on the river and have this like, it's not a gated community. Well, actually, it was gated, like to get to be able even to walk up to it, like you have to get through some gates. So it's like, in its own kind of weird way, it's like a gated community, and Bob's sitting here like just dropping F-bombs left and right, and it's like, Bob, and apparently like my dad was like, did Bob like do anything while like we were there? I'm like, oh, he kept bitching about smoking, and he's like, was he like cussing? I'm like, yeah, he was cussing. He's like, yeah, I got some complaints. I don't think I'm taking Bob to work with me anymore. I'm like, yep, I can totally see it. All he was doing was complaining about old people, and it's like, God, Bob, can't complain about your customer base while you're like right there.
Yeah.
Bob, all you have to do is shut the fuck up and you can live whatever life you want.
Yep.
Why don't you realize this, Bob?
Such a good example of life.
He's almost like a tweaker when he's not tweaking either. Like,
Yeah.
there
He's
was
just an addict, man.
there was
He's
two
a drug addict.
there's two screws we need to put into a wall, and my dad can like do it in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But he's busy on the inside. So Bob's like, you got a screwdriver, Dave? He's like, yeah, it's on the inside. So my dad goes inside and comes out with the screwdriver to do something on the outside. And Bob's like, you gonna use that screwdriver? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I need it. Like, my dad's the only one doing actual work. I kind of came along just to go check out Portland with him. Bob, like, I don't know why Bob went along really, but like, sure, we help my dad out when he needs our help. But like, I try and stay out of his way because I'm trying to like only be good. Like, I'm only there when he needs my help. When he doesn't need my help, I'm out of the way. So my dad goes back inside and he's like, hey, can I use that screwdriver yet, Dave? He's like, well, just a minute, Bob. Like he hounded my dad for a screwdriver probably 8 times within like an hour. And my dad's just like, Bob, I'm just like, yeah, I'm using it. Like, leave me alone. Like, so like he would not stop fucking asking him for the goddamn screwdriver. And like, Bob, you're making a headache over 2 screws. Just fucking like stop. You'd be more helpful if you just sat in the fucking car. Like,
Yeah.
God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny, like, you'd see, like, him talk to the heating guys, and they'd be all cool. I was actually surprised how cool they were with him. And as soon as they go around the corner, you just see him, like, facepalm, like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. Poor old Bob. Ignorance is bliss, I guess.
I guess.
But he's Jesus, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember one of my Jesus jokes I made at Bob the other day that I didn't catch, but I forgot it again. So big help that is. Yeah, that Bob. Oh, Ian actually like gave him some weed last time he was over here.
No, I didn't. He stole it.
Yeah,
He really pushed you. He was actually getting kind of like.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like if I wasn't gonna do it, he was gonna maybe go all.
Well, I told him, like, he asked me, like, do you guys got any in there? I'm like, I don't know what Ian's got, you know? And so, like, he literally just came in. He's like, hey, you guys got it? I'm like, oh, God, Bob, just fucking go away. But, it ended up, like, he was getting, well, he was, like, both him and my dad were fucking drunk. And he was a little bit high. And, so I'm like, I go like, hey dad, I want to grab some beer. So like, if you don't mind, like, I have $10 to go grab some beer from Safeway. So my dad's like, yeah, I'll go get you some. He's all hammered. And then, Bob's like, Mike, I'll give you $4. Like, I'm like, $4. I'm gonna need 10 from him. He's just like, no, we're family. Here's $4. I'm just like, well, we're not family, but I'm not gonna say this out loud because he's gonna be like, what? He's gonna start crying. Like, we're basically family, right? But someone's like, all right, so he gives me $4, which actually is $7. And
Mike, I know we're not actually family, but you do know that I love you.
Yeah, he kept telling me he loves me. And then so
that's what would happen.
My dad goes to grab $10 for me, which is also, instead of just like Bob's $4, which is $7, my dad grabs $10, which is $17, all in ones. I'm like, okay. So now I asked for 10 to go grab beer. Now I got 17 plus like 7 or whatever dollars. And then, my dad's like, hey, can you grab me a bag of chips while you go to the store? I'm like, yeah, he gave me plenty to cover. He's like, well, no, I'll go get you some money for the chips. I'm like, okay. So he comes out and he gives me, like, he's like looking, he's got a wad of cash. He's like, will a 20 work? I'm like, will a 20 work for a bag of chips and some dip? Yes, it will, Dad. And, or I think he was going to give me a 10. He's like, well, just in case, here's a 20. And I'm like, all right. So okay. I can't remember the math exactly, but I ended up like, I wanted $10 to go grab a pack of beer, which so all I was going to come back was with $10 beer and empty-handed money. I ended up going to the store, grabbing a 12-pack of beer, 4 bags of chips, and a thing of dip, and I came back with $7 still left in my pocket. Like
I took the 20 and bought the
yeah, so we even had enough for Ian's gas.
Because I had to buy for somebody.
Yeah. Because I fucking forgot my ID.
Mike doesn't have an ID sometimes, and I have to buy booze. I've had to buy booze for Mike way more times than I've had to buy booze for Mike more times than minors have even asked me to buy booze for them.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
it's sadly true.
And so he gave me $20. It was $17. I had $3 left over for gas because I drove. And then, you got, I think we had $39 altogether at the beginning.
Yeah.
And 19 of it was in ones. And we're just like standing by the booth and Mike's counting it one by one by one.
I gotta like check how much I got. And it's like, it's almost like pennies at this point. Like, it's so frustrating counting out pennies. Like, I have ones and it's frustrating to count how many.
It was huge. It was like a Scarface wad. Like, it was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our interesting drunk trip. That it also had to be told like 2.5 times that I look like Steve from American Dad. When I've already heard the story a goddamn like 20 times in the first place.
Who was telling you that?
Bob. He always likes to like, you look like that.
I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna play it right next to your face.
He says shit like that.
Look at it like this.
He's like, you look like that Chris guy off of American Family or American Guy. I'm like, you mean American Dad? He's like, yeah, that one. And I'm like, and you mean Steve? He's like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, totally. I've heard this 20 times, but yeah, I know what you're talking about, Bob.
Make something up next time. Be like, you mean like Roy from like
the Jetsons?
Different Strokes?
Oh, I should be like, you remind me of that guy. He wrote a book. Well, there's a book about him. He grew up in Nazareth. Jesus, you remind me of Jesus, Bob. And just like see what he fucking does. Like, Mike, I am Jesus.
You remind me of that rapper Kanye West.
Yes. I don't think he knows who Kanye West is though. Well, Fester, he got pissed off. Like, well, this is a good audience. Like,
fucking Fester.
Do you know who Warren Buffett is?
Was he also there that night?
Who? Oh no!
Fester?
Thank God, Jesus.
Well, like, So Warren Buffett is like some big financial leader. I just know his name. I don't know a lot about him, but I know who, like, he's a big, big wig kind of thing. I actually even know what his face looks like. But like, probably everyone's probably like heard his name somewhat. Fester will be like, he'll be like, what do you mean you never heard of like this? He was doing this musical thing for something. Is like the director guy's like Stephen Sondheim or something like that.
Okay.
He's like, oh, you've heard of Stephen Sondheim or whatever. And I'm like, no. It's like, the composer? I'm like, no. Or all the time he'll be like, you heard of this actor? I'm like, this small actor out of the 60s, like 50s? Like, no, I have not heard of, like, how have you not heard of, like, I'm like, so one night
we hate those people. Yeah.
So one night we said something about like Warren Buffett, and he's like, I don't even know who he is. I'm just like, I just like, how do you not fucking know who Warren Buffett is? Yet you ask me, I don't know who Stephen Sondheim is. Like, what the fuck is wrong with? He's
I
like,
didn't know. Yeah, Teeny Magoo from 1976, like Pirate Cafe Buffet or whatever.
he is fucking. I kind of miss him though. Like, he's just a John Bender. You get stories from him.
Man, yeah, that's true.
I just
God, I hate it though.
It's hard to put up with him. It would be one thing, like, even with as annoying as he was, if he just didn't interrupt you. Like, if you could get some words in, it like progress past that story to get another one.
Like, there's a reason he can't afford $300 a month rent.
Yeah.
He's a fucked up dude.
Yeah, he's very fucked
really
up.
messed up dude.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah,
He's gonna move in with his roommate, with this one guy, one of his friends, and it's this weird hippie mountain guy. He's got a beard like down to like his belly button, and he's just like skinny as hell guy. I'm sure he's like skinny because he does drugs. He's gonna move into like an apartment with this creepy hippie weird guy, and they're like, Fester's annoying enough, and so Fester's gonna move into the apartment with this weird guy. It's a studio apartment, and he's gonna like there's no
They're
way.
basically gonna sleep on each other's butts.
It's I don't know.
Dude, oh man, yeah, those fuckers.
Fester tried to tell me, you saw how fat he was, right?
I know.
Fester literally looks
man.
pregnant.
Yeah,
He told me that
He's
when he moved in here, which was like only like 3 months from like, and it's been like 4 or 5 now, but like when he was, so like he's been out for a little bit. He told me when he first moved in here that he was skinny, he was underweight. And then in 3 months, he looked like he was about to have a baby. Like, how, Fester? And he still denies that he's even overweight. He's like, well, my doctor said I'm about like 5 to 10 pounds overweight. I'm like, Fester, if you look down, like, you could lose 30 pounds and look down and still not see your dick. Do not try and tell me that.
Yeah.
Fester. Dude, I'm trying not to change subjects too crazily, but we were talking about American Dad, which today this guy had like aluminum air duct hose, like for a robot costume, and I asked him if he was gonna be Bender.
Nice.
And he didn't know what I was talking about.
What?
Wow.
How the fuck are you in college and not know who Bender is?
And he's like, he's not just like a college student, like a 20-year-old who's gone through. He's like one of those like 25, 26, 27-year-old guys who's kind of taking his sweet ass time. Probably should have watched.
That's even better of an age range to see it.
And I had to like tell him, I was like, yeah, it's like the guy who made The Simpsons, and he's like, oh, The Simpsons, yeah, I've heard of that show. And I'm like, yeah, like the writer, he like is from like Springfield. And he's like, yeah, Springfield, cool. I'm like, I'm like telling him like epic shit, maybe, I don't know, like he didn't know any of it though. Like,
Oh my god.
this is like, if you're from around here,
I was homeschooled
if
and
you're
I
from,
wasn't
like,
allowed to watch
America,
TV.
and he comes off as, and he's just like, he I don't know, he's a character. He cusses out of context all the time. He's just like,
Kind of like a middle
he's just
schooler.
like, oh, this is fucking nectar. Like,
What?
he's like, he's taking this telescope and he's like zooming it in on this very like precise point, and it's kind of hard to do. It takes like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck yes, oh my god, this is fucking nectar. I'm like, I've never heard anyone say this before. I'm just like, whatever. Like, if he thinks he can say that, I don't know. I've never said anything that stupid before. Like, I could just be whatever.
Where's
I
the
want,
nectar
but-
come from?
I have no idea.
Was he looking at a flower, or was he like, that's his go-to
He was looking
word?
at like this target. and he had to focus in on it, and then it takes like this really precise measurement, and I don't know. He's just like saying these like really awkward, like vulgar things.
That reminds me though, like, cause Aaron likes to say like this stupid shit all the time, like, "Oh, that's top," and I'm like, "Why?" So then you say it the other day. I could like use it in context, and I can remember. I don't remember what the post was, but I'm like, did Ian say like this is like top, or did he say like this? Like, do you mean like this is the top of like whatever, like the top of the charts kind of thing? I didn't know if you were like trolling him with it, or if he was like, but either way, I'm just like, fucking god damn it. He throws it into every time he gets a chance. He'd be like, "Oh, that's top," and then like it'd be one of those things where like if no one like
That's right.
if no one like acknowledges him saying it, then he's like, "Oh, well, no one heard me say it, so I can say it again," kind of thing. And it'd be like,
Oh yeah, that's
so it'd be like he'd be like, "Oh, this like like oh that like oh those shoes are top," but like no like someone like speaks over him, so no one hears it. So then he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, like do you guys see that that new movie? It's top." Like, god damn it, Aaron.
Just begging for it.
Yeah, because in his mind he's like, I got this fucking awesome word. No one else uses it. It's gonna be my word. I could someday once it gets famous, because it will, because it's amazing. When it gets famous, I could be like, I was the one who said it. Like, go back to my Facebook posts, go back to the podcast. I was saying top before it was cool, but it'll never be there, Aaron, because it's fucking retarded.
Aaron's so top. He's always saying top.
Yeah, God, it's just top. There's no other way to say it.
This is Halo, it's top.
oh my
He got Nate saying it too, and it was just like, wow, this just proves how terrible it is.
dude.
I wonder
Mike, I have a question for you. All right, in one of the unreleased Critical Splits episodes, there was a question. What was the best game and the worst game ever?
Yes.
Can you guess what Aaron's best and worst games were?
Yeah.
I almost did.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
Well, like I'm gonna jump
can
to the
do it.
obvious thing,
Do it,
Halo or Resident Evil. I'm gonna say Halo though. Like it's almost.
What's the best one? What's the worst one?
What did Aaron answer when
What?
asked his best, favorite, and least favorite?
Okay, so I'm gonna say best is gonna be Halo. Least, I don't have an answer, but as soon as you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's fucking obvious. But I can't think of what his worst game would be.
We'll just come up with something. Just guess. Just a game that he fucking plays. Like he only plays a handful.
Yeah, that's a good hint.
Is he gonna say like the best is Halo and the worst is like Halo blah blah blah?
I don't know. What is your guess, man?
Fuck, I can't guess. Like, I honestly have no clue.
Aaron went on the record very quickly. He was so sure of himself when asked this. I think it was Nate's brother who asked around the room everybody to say their
Nate's brother shows up for an episode?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How bad was it?
really boring, really bad. But everyone went around. Aaron's answer for best, Halo 2.
Okay. I saw that.
Worst, Halo 4.
Yeah, okay, so I kind of said it, but I didn't lock my answer in.
I died. The whole episode, I'm just like, I'm doing like a million other things to try to like not listen to them because
It's too hard to get through without
it's just
multitasking.
Nathan and his brother running the show, and mainly his brother. His brother talks a ton and just doesn't know about games, or he goes on about how he likes
He's
to
just
use
as sheltered.
players' guides and all this stuff. No, he's way less sheltered.
Really?
It's still not much. Like, he still doesn't know about games.
Yeah.
And then, like, they get to the part, and Aaron's just like, he's so sure. He's like, best game, Halo 2. Love that game. Worst game, Halo 4. So disappointed in that game.
Yeah. I said 1 and 3. I was like, there's just like it has to be something just stupid like this, like not in any way, shape, or form ever going to be the best game. Not in any way, shape, or form ever going to be the worst.
It's so
game
funny.
ever.
It's not good enough for Halo to be the best. Halo has to be every aspect of his goddamn life.
I don't know. Hey, what's the best video game to have sex to? I don't know. Halo 3.
Halo reach around.
What's got the best soundtrack? I don't know. Halo 3 Reloaded.
Yeah.
I counted. They have a shelf. I think the shelf has 55 games. 19 of them are Halo.
Oh my
19
god.
of them on that shelf, that Xbox shelf. I mean, lots of them are repeats, but still, there's quite a bit in that series. Like, they not only got, like, Halo 1, but they got Halo 1, like, Director's Edition.
Yeah.
And then, like, Halo 1, like, with a little bit of a holographic thing on this part.
And then
and stuff.
expansion pack 1, expansion pack 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I haven't played Halo since, I'm sure, high school. So if we play Halo on Saturday, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I like that 4 was the one that killed it for him, because it was 3 killed it for me. It's not that I would call it a terrible game. It's just like, you guys changed my favorite level. Like, okay, I'm kind of done with, I was already kind of bored with Halo, and this one didn't, like, to be fair, to get me to play, it would have had to blow it out of the water, and it's just like, okay, so, like, I guess he, like, held on for a little bit longer. I think he's still holding on, but yeah. The funny thing is, they introduced this game called Destiny. And so they're talking about it on the podcast. I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of disappointed. Like, it looked good. It looked quality. I was interested to play it. Then I found out it's not going to be out for the PC, and like, I'm not going to go out and buy a console just to play. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I want to be on computer if I'm going to play a beautiful game like this. So like, dude, it's on the PC. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I directly went to their site. It's not for PC, or I would play it. And they're like, yes, it is. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Go look it up.
Oh
They went to
my
the actual
God,
site.
they did
Boom.
This whole thing again.
Yeah, it's like, you guys are fucking wrong. Every time you call me on my shit.
They're so good at just jumping out there and saying
But this is like, it's one thing to be wrong, but it's like, when you guys, like, this is your thing and it's not my thing, and you like call me out specifically and you're still fucking wrong, like, what the hell, man?
It was really funny, and I think it was the Nathan's Brother episode where they couldn't figure out what Castlevania was. Nathan's brother was like, there's this game for the Nintendo.
No
you
way.
gotta run through and you gotta kill Dracula. I remember that. And
Oh my
like, you had
God.
like a cross you throw. I don't know, like, but this guy knows how to play the song on piano. I can't remember what it's called. And they're all thinking like super hard, like, what is it? And then like Kyle starts Googling it. He's like, Nintendo game, Dracula, this and that. And they're just like, they took them forever. They're just like, Castlevania. Oh, Castlevania.
Wow.
Oh. And then they all pretend to know, like, yeah, that's a good game. I played that game before. Does the story and the Castlevanias relate to each other? No, they're all separate stories. It's always a different guy and all this stuff. And just like totally just confidently just getting things wrong about the game.
Dude, like when they try and talk about Final Fantasy, it's like, guys, like, nothing against Final Fantasy. I never played it as a kid, and like, I'll give it props. It's obviously a good game, but like, I was a Zelda kid, and I never got into Final Fantasy, but like, so I don't know anything about it. Other just that I trust it's a quality game, and like, they'll talk about some shit from Final Fantasy. I'm like, guys, don't even talk about it. Like, I know more than you guys know about it. I never even played the goddamn game except for like a little bit of the one on the Nintendo. Like, don't just know. You're gonna just turn people off of your video if you talk about like how, like, I think that guy with the big sword. No, that was a chick. Yeah, I can't remember if it was a dude or a chick. Like, no, just, you're gonna piss everyone off.
My favorite part was the part 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and then you know what? Oh my God. I had a friend say to me, I posted that thing about how I'm going to be at Aaron's.
Yeah.
Who's it tomorrow or whatever. And he said, I didn't even know you were a part of some video game podcast. What's this? You were into video games? I didn't even know that. And I'm like, well, it's not so much that I'm into video games, it's that they're really not. And
Yeah.
so I can get away with it because like they don't really know anything.
I always want to like bring up some things like I know a lot about. I want to start get some in-depth conversations about Zelda and Star Wars and just see what they
Just
say.
anything in the world at all. Yeah.
I mean, because you can own them when you talk about something you vaguely have heard of once in 3rd grade. But when it comes to something you know, oh, you could make their head spin.
That was another thing. Go ahead.
Maybe you got like a couple things to do with them. You know, you got that situation where you make their head spin, or you lull them.
You just let them spin their own heads.
Yeah.
Because when Nathan's brother was on there, he started talking about like, yeah, I really like Ocarina of Time. And I'm like, oh, finally somebody's played Zelda. He's like, but I never played it except when I got it on the 3DS.
What the fuck, man?
And I'm like, okay. So he tells the story about like how all of us, him and these people he knows got it on 3DS. And he thought it was so hard and he couldn't beat it without the player's guide.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And then he starts asking them, he's like, you guys are well, you know this part in Ocarina of Time? And all three of them are just like, no, never played it. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead and say it. And he's all yelling at them like, you never played Ocarina of Time? And like Kyle pretends to know about it.
You
like,
just want to
he
yell at them
always
like, you
does.
didn't play it till the 3DS, so you can shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's like, it's so hard. All these puzzles are too hard. I had to use the player's guide. And like, I don't know. I had the game for like 3 months and I still couldn't beat it. And
He's like that fucking no.
That's even sadder because like I remember like playing and beating that game. It was like a group thing of me and my little brother and some guy that was a little older than me that worked with my dad. Like but like we all three played it together. Like, you know, he'd get off of work and we'd get off from school and we'd all three play it together. So like to our advantage, you know, we had a group effort. We had three minds thinking about some of these puzzles. But fuck, I mean, like we beat this in like, I was in middle school, my little brother was in grade school, and this guy was like just like fresh out of high school. Like it's sad that Nathan's like older brother. I mean, Nathan's younger brother, but like he's like, you know, old enough to be able to like, he should be able to figure these fucking puzzles out on his own.
It's Nathan's younger brother?
Oh, I thought you said it was younger.
I don't know. It's just this huge guy.
Oh, I thought you said it was his brother.
I think it's his brother.
It's his brother.
Nice. So yeah, like he can't fucking figure it out. Like what the hell? Like I figured that thing out when I was in middle school. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
Not that I'm surprised by any means. Don't get me wrong. Kids these days.
Another opportunity to laugh.
I guess I could see that though. The apple wouldn't fall far from the tree. Now I want to see that so bad. I know I don't want, like, it's like a train wreck. I don't want to see it, but I want to see Nathan's brother so bad.
What?
I want to see Nathan's brother so bad.
Yeah. I'm going to put the audio on my USB drive and listen to it on my commute, but maybe when I'm studying or something. But I can't sit there and watch it. I just can't do it.
No, I've
Nope.
never watched one. I always have to be doing like three other things.
Unless I'm in it and I'm making some
Yeah, the one
outrageous faces.
You have the video of the Reagan one, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I saw it because I saw it. Yeah, okay.
The faces, some of the faces were good.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun on Saturday. We gotta have a game plan.
You going to Saturday? Oh no! Keep thinking you mean Kyle's party.
Do you want to go on Friday?
Kyle's party?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I can ask.
What are we gonna do there?
Whatever.
Be crazy.
Whatever the wind gives us. I don't know how to put it.
I'm dressing up and it's
We don't
like
have to plan out anything.
it's like I'm like wearing some like skimpy rock suit, so it's gonna be fun either way.
I don't
I plan
have
on
a
getting
costume,
fucking
but
drunk.
I might be able to come up with something.
I plan on getting fucking
Oh,
drunk.
it's a Halloween party, right? Everybody's dressing up.
Yeah, I might get drunk. I don't know.
It depends how drunk I get, because I'm going to also do a beer pong the night after, so I'm not going to try and get too drunk, but I'm going to be hungover. But, so, like, here's the plan. Like, I got a Guitar Hero guitar for my little rock thing. And if I get really drunk at Kyle's, I'm going to smash the guitar. And then if I don't get drunk enough, then I will definitely get drunk enough the following night and smash the guitar. But either way, one of the next 2 nights, I'm going to get really drunk and smash Guitar Hero guitar, and it's going to be fucking amazing. I can't wait. Sister's going to drop a bunch of eyeliner all over my eyes. I'm going to have a bunch of like fake tattoos I'm going to let people draw on me. So I'm going to have a big Hello Kitty tattoo across my chest. It's going to be gnarly. I can't wait.
Nice. I wonder who's gonna be there though.
I don't know.
Bunch of jabronis that were there at the fucking bar.
Yeah, if you see them at the bar and then a couple more.
Which everybody is there, yeah.
Like
Usually they
Pat
get-
and Laven.
Yeah, they
Well,
should.
they're invited.
Yeah, well, Pat's kind of iffy if he does. Laven, I think will go. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't know with the whole Saber Kyle thing. I don't know if he's gonna go, but he seems like he is still in the loop on that. So
It might be worth it just to go. For me, I mean, I'm gonna go because you're gonna go. Like, but just to see the interaction between me and Saber because they're priceless. Like, she can't handle herself. I'm pretty sure I saw her. Like, I drove past her, and like she just gave me this crazy look. I just like looked away and was just like focused. I was like, all right.
You definitely gotta wear a wire and just talk to her as much as possible.
I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to do, but
Yeah.
it's not that hard though. It's not like it's hard to talk to her, but
yeah,
she's just so she just hates me so much. I don't know.
I'm just interested. Like I've been hammered in a while.
Just pretend
I'm
to be
planning on it.
Bob.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, I can't tell you I'm Jesus.
Dude, you should totally do that. Oh my god.
Dress up like Jesus in a robe and have beard and everything.
I don't know what I got to wear.
I know. I wish I had planned ahead and got something just super crazy.
I'm like falling spot. Like I need to get hair thing. I think I'm still just gonna go cheap and not even buy hair for it and just go with my normal hair. But I imagine the suit's gonna be over the top enough. I want hair though because the the jumpsuit thing I made, I didn't have stretchy fabric at the time, so I just made it out of like this jacket I got at Goodwill. So I don't know, it almost comes off like, it comes off kind of as a rocker thing, but then almost kind of comes off like a little bit looking like Sub-Zero or like a red version of Sub-Zero from like Mortal Kombat. So I don't know. We'll just try it.
Be a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah, at the worst, I'll just be like, I don't know, I'm whatever the fuck you want me to be.
Okay, guys, I have an idea for a costume.
What's that?
I need your guys' help maybe though. I have the Green Man costume.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And over the Green Man costume, I want to wear a Rubik's Cube.
Why? I don't get it.
Wouldn't that look crazy? Just like...
How you gonna do it?
What's a square cardboard box? Like, what comes in a big square box?
Well, you could just like cut out pieces of cardboard and make it into a square.
True. It doesn't have to be perfect either. Just last day.
I saw it today. This little kid was wearing a Rubik's Cube today.
Nice.
When I was commuting back, and I was like, I almost had to scream out of my window like, that, yes! Like, that, I'm stealing that maybe.
But how would you keep the pieces of cardboard together if they're all going to be separate pieces?
Engineering.
Tape.
Some engineering.
Tape. Box tape. And then I'd have this.
Oh, you mean just 9 pieces?
6.
6 pieces.
6.
Yeah, 4 around me, 1 on top, 1 on bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And then just Rubik's Cube.
I feel like there was that's what she said in the middle of that somewhere, but
I want to be like, hey, solve me or something. Like, would that be like, there'd be a lot of touching involved. Actual cube.
have you seen that Twister thing where like it's like you walk around with like right hand on red and your red dots right on your dick? That was pretty good, except for I think there's a picture of Justin Bieber somewhere on the internet with that one, so it kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know what to say.
I know.
It'd be funny to somehow just have a bunch of costumes in like a bag and just go to the bathroom every half hour and change.
I thought just show up in like women's lingerie
Or layers, yeah.
but like just show up in women's lingerie and everyone would be like what, like we see that you're definitely wearing something interesting. What are you supposed to be? And just be like, what do you mean? Like, what are you following? Like, oh, I didn't dress up. I just kind of came.
So wear a frilly dress.
Are you guys gonna troll Kyle?
What's that?
Are you guys gonna troll Kyle?
Oh, I don't have any expectation. I'm just going to get drunk and smash a guitar.
I was thinking like just bringing up really awkward topics around him, like be like, "Hey man, remember when you and Aaron were talking about Nazis the other day, like right in front of Cyber?"
Yeah.
And her like flea dog or something. Be like, remember that your friend's dog that like is getting fleas everywhere? Well,
Yeah.
there's like a flea in my car. I think it's from your friend's fucking dog. I fucking hate your friend's dog, man.
Just walk up and be like, yeah, where's that dog you hate so much? You finally get rid of it?
Yeah, that thing's not bitching every time you put it outside and you give it attention. The best part about that is from what I hear, like, dogs take the personality of their owners. And I'm not putting it past Cyber to be one of those psycho women who, like, you don't text her after 2 hours. She's just like, where are you? Have you fallen asleep already? That's so weird. Get back to me, please. Like, well,
I did have to
at least
say,
from the way Laven was describing her, but
their costume though is pretty fucking awesome. They did a dual costume. They posted a picture. They did Link and Zelda, but Kyle's fucking Zelda and Saber's Link. And I was like, that is fucking awesome. Well done.
Which Zelda is he?
I just saw a picture of him wearing a blonde wig with a crown and a pink dress. So he kind of looked like Peach.
she
almost.
is like totally guy.
Yeah.
He's just,
Yeah.
like that is artwork. That is.
I don't know. I thought I was like, that's fucking awesome. That is fucking like, damn. That's the best costume I've seen so far this year, though.
Now, well, I don't want to. I almost said, like, have either of them played Zelda, but I know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They don't
Oh
care.
well, I don't know.
I saw-
I don't know Kyle's level of Zelda. I'm sure Saber did.
2 people walking around campus dressed as Pikachu and Raichu today.
Nice.
I wanted to go up to him and be like, I jailbroke my iPod for an emulator to play Pokemon Yellow. Can I have your autograph?
Nice. You just like be oblivious. You just be like, oh my god, it's fucking Pikachu. Can I get your autograph?
Seriously, I wanted to.
I have your baseball card.
I might never get a chance again to do something like that. I fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
I do hate this moment. It's just like when John was holding my cousin's hand. Like, it's like, I could have let him fucking have it, but it's just like, you're like, the moment's gone. Like,
It is.
you just didn't expect, like, now that you thought about what to do with Pikachu, it's like too late though.
If only I could go back in time and do to Pikachu what I always wanted to do to Pikachu.
Or even better, just like, oh man, I'm gonna prevent that because you know when you're at college, someone's gonna dress up as Pikachu, right? Because this is gonna happen. I'm just gonna carry around like a Pichu baby, like one of like the baby Pikachus, and I'm just gonna run up and be like you owe me child support, and just bitch out Pikachu for not paying for the baby you made with you.
That'd be a good one. There's always a lot of Mario Brothers.
I saw Mario. The first thing I saw today was a Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
The only
First
thing I've seen
thing.
today was with Mario Brothers was a Luigi, but luckily it was a dog dressed up as Luigi. I'm like, yeah, that works.
I remember at Shemeketa, like not a lot of people dressed up for Halloween, but
Really?
one of the only ones that I saw the whole day was a guy dressed as Wario with like a mustache and gloves.
That's fucking
and
awesome.
A very high quality costume. But every class, I think I only had him in one class, and then I always saw him in the hallway. He's just like the only person in class with like a hat and a mustache and gloves and like overalls, just sitting there, just be like, I don't know why I came to school in costume.
Dude, I love that, though.
Did.
I set up for class color day. I'm like, guys, it'd be fucking awesome if we come to class color day and we all wear green, but we wear it like green dresses. And it's all dudes. And I got 7 dudes throughout the day to do it, but only a few would wear it all day long. And like my last class, manufacturing class, was so fucking awkward. Like, cause normally it's hard for me to get awkward. It was a little easier in high school, but like, it was just like, I'm sitting in manufacturing, and like everyone there's like pretty much seen the couple of the dudes in dress, so they kind of understand. There's some Regis transfer kids that were there, and they're like, "What the fuck's with the dude in the green dress?" I'm like, this is so awkward. This is so awkward. I was surprised I got anyone else to wear the dress though.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty mild. Dude, I've been thinking, like, this whole Pokemon thing, these people dressing up like that. I want to dress up like Pikachu and live my dream as a sideshow, like, street performer playing keyboard renditions of Pokemon Red, Blue, and flipping people off every so often.
I want like a midget friend to dress up as like Pikachu, but like be like pull up his arm so it looks like it's a real tall person, and just go like throw a big box that's painted like a Pokeball, just throw it at him and have him just like collapse and then get inside the box. I put way too much thought into these weird things.
Maybe like, those big balls that they make where you get inside and can walk.
Yeah.
Just pay somebody to dress up like Pikachu and follow you around for like 3 weeks or something. I don't know. It won't fucking go in his Pokeball. I don't know what to say.
Yes.
It's got a shit like every 3 hours. I'm sick of this fucker. Like, my Onyx, it goes in. It's huge. This fucker, he hates it. It says it's crammed. What the fuck?
Have like a security guard like, well, you can't be in this class, and just have him pull out a little taser. See, you won't listen.
You're sitting there with like a fishing rod and like a line in the pond, and the Pikachu's just standing behind you.
That'd be awesome. I want to go I want to do some Pokemon costumes. I want to be like the guy with 6 Magikarps. Like, I just want to like dress up as one of their fishermen and have a pole and like 6 Magikarps like drug behind me.
Or just like plastic bags with goldfish.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be even better, like actual fish.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It'd be even better, like super glue some like construction paper onto them.
Dude, that's a good idea. Just go out, buy like 6 goldfish, and show up at the party. I'm gonna do the 6 Magikarp.
Yes. It's not too late. There you
Carry a
go.
fishbowl.
It'd be awesome.
And just act like a dick the whole time. It's like, I can kick your ass. I can take you so easily.
You try and fight everyone all night long?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I do this? Because I'm thinking about doing this.
Dude,
Can
totally.
I take this costume?
Of course.
Okay, alright, so I'm gonna get these goldfish, I'm gonna get a spray bottle. And I'm gonna be like, don't fuck with me because you'll get splashed, man.
Get in a fight with someone and then like feels like take a baggie of one of the fish and like go Magikarp.
What is it? What is a dog Pokemon?
A dog Pokemon?
Arcanite, Growlithe, yeah. That's
Alright,
the two that
and what
came
is
to
a bird Pokemon?
Pidgey,
Maybe
Pharaoh.
Alright, so any
Pharaoh.
two of those, I suppose, and I'll challenge Kyle, my Magikarps versus his dog Pokemon, bird Pokemon.
Oh my god! Just come up with a bird cage
I
of
don't know
bird,
if
like
he
a bird.
has any other Pokemon around. He's got cat Pokemon.
He's got a peacock. There's no peacock Pokemon. Well, there might be in the new
there's,
gen, but
by now there's a Pokemon
there's probably for everything. I didn't know about
There's
this.
some
There's a
weird-
keyring Pokemon now. I didn't know that.
from X and Y. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like I thought the vanilla ice cream cone one was retarded.
Yeah, there's like 3 generations where I do not remember all the Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's I'm sure there's a bunch more that look like exactly like dogs, and whatever kind of
Yeah.
bird he has, there'll be one for that kind of bird.
Yeah. I don't
If
know.
it needs tattoos, we'll just, check it out. They probably got it on this edition. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far in the game yet. I have gotten... Dude, how far have you gotten, Jack,
In what?
in Pokemon
Which one?
Black, or whatever? What was the next one? XY? Yeah,
Oh,
XY.
X and Y? I
Yeah.
beat it. I'm just collecting a bunch of outfits now.
Why would you do that?
I mean, they
Someone
give you
says to-
so much money, and that's the only
Yeah.
thing to spend it on, because, I mean, potions are free.
You know, it's, I know, what the fuck? Why would they do that?
I don't know. I've just been playing Halo 5 lately, though.
That's right. We were supposed to review that this week, I think. I forgot. I didn't play it. I didn't, like...
Have you played any of the new Grand Theft Pokemon?
If dude, someday, like Simpsons Road Rage, but Pokemon Grand Theft Auto. Like these things need to be combined instantly.
Be Team Rocket.
That's what like the next innovation in gaming is going to be. Somebody can just like say yes, combine instantly.
If I could just snap my fingers and make games happen, I'd be a billionaire.
Gotta work hard.
I don't want to program and listen to other people.
Select parameters. What kind of characters do you want to play as? Pokemon. What kind of world do you want to play in? Grand Theft Auto 5-ish.
Maybe in the future, like, some programming language will come out where you can do that. Just, like, mash the engines together.
Maybe.
That'd be pretty sweet. I'm still waiting for a good like 3D console version
Oh,
of
how
Pokemon.
funny that would be. Oh my god. Wait, well, alright. So
They
that's,
sort of have things like that, like RPG Maker, like, to
Yeah.
a degree.
They're so hard and they're so restricted still though.
but what if you just like play Grand Theft Auto and you just decided that your character you're playing as, his name wasn't his name anymore. It was really Ash. And it was just Pokemon in a different
I was gonna
world.
say you could get someone enough knowledge.
This is in the Pokemon canon. It's just for some reason there's no Pokemon around.
Go on Kickstarter though with someone that knows a little bit of
Like-
programming. Like come up with a Pokemon add-on for Grand Theft Auto.
Like just relate something in Grand Theft Auto to Pokemon. Like I don't know what Pikachu in Grand Theft Auto would be, but there's
One of those electric cars.
I could just imagine someone reskinned this is probably like 6-7 years ago, but I can't remember how many years, but when I keep wanting to say Fable. What's that Morrowind series? I don't know why I'm spacing it. Oblivion. I think it was that the one that was out? Well, whatever one was relevant at the time when it came out, someone like reskinned the whole thing to be like Aqua Teen Hunger Force skin for I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that'd be fucking really funny.
I know. I never really saw. I saw like a couple screenshots, but like the hard part would be like running out of people to make. Like, what do you do? Because there's not that many characters in Aqua Teen.
Yeah, I've seen a whole mod for San Andreas where it's some shooting game, like some vertical shooting game, and there's like 1 billion of them. They have a bunch of characters, but they reskinned like every character in that game with somebody.
I don't know. That could be a new like. I don't know if I have a fancy rhyme for it, but like video game mashup with two games would be like good together.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be really good together? Halo 2 and Halo 4.
That would be perfect.
You know, you just take the best of the worst and the worst of the best. You combine it, you get the best of the mediocre, and you got a game for life there. You know, it's never gonna. It's just you're gonna be able to ride that one for.
Well, like,
for
and you could,
years.
like, they'd blend so well because, I mean, like, 2 and 4 just make it, like, you know, the average them together. You could call it Halo 3.
Okay.
I don't know. They're really
Picture
different.
this. Picture this. You go to the store. You're at Winco. All right. You're at Winco, and there's that aisle of instant mashed potatoes, and there's like 4 or 5 different ones. And you have your favorite one, and you have your least favorite one. What do? You buy them both, you mix them, you see what happens. Am I right?
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, it's more like you buy your favorite one and you buy one that's not really that bad, but you had way too high of expectations for it, and then mix them together.
As long as they're the same brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe one has like a different expiration date by a day.
But you know, Aaron brought up a good point that
What?
by far, Aaron had a great point, great fantastic point,
Huh?
was that, you know, what game has progressed more in its entire life, you know, actually video games as a whole, was Halo. So, like, you really couldn't, like, Halo 2's interface just wouldn't mesh with Halo's 4 interface because they're so vastly different on every level.
So different. I mean, there's more than one different new gun in Halo 2
Yeah,
than
at
Halo
least. Maybe 1.5
No,
more.
Yeah. Easily.
1. It's almost as different as a jump from 5 to 6.
7 to 8 is going to be a leap into the next realm of Halo. It's gonna be so much better.
Well, you know how,
They're gonna
like,
have so many more, like,
Guns.
it's just, they're gonna have
well, it's just like, you know, they had the state-of-the-art technology where they stole it kind of from a game way, you know, older, but like, you know, James Bond. But when they brought out dual wielding to Halo 2, Halo, like, you know, 7 or 8 could have quad wielding.
Yeah. Well,
7 or
I don't
8, 9 or 10, maybe even 11.
Yeah, it could happen.
know. Maybe have
Octo wield.
three guns. At least able to hold 3
What?
guns.
Yeah.
Master Octo Chief.
Yeah.
Octo Master Chief. 8 wield.
Yeah.
8 guns.
Yeah.
And or any other kind of.
You wouldn't even need a Warthog. That's just that's your legs. You just drive around on a 4-wheeler all the time.
What 8 guns would you have? Like, that's easy. You have like a top 8 guns.
8 pistols. 7 pistols and a grenade.
Well, if it's Halo 4, there's only 8 guns in the game.
I'm just imagining like every single gun and you're just shooting them all at the exact same target.
I would prefer that because when you play a game, it's like, which gun am I gonna choose? That's too many guns. What were they thinking?
You know
Why
what?
not give every player every gun so it's fair?
You know what? I think, yeah. Because Aaron's got a good point. You know, patching sucks.
Patching
Like,
does suck.
just like, that way you could equip every gun so everyone's at the, you know, same level. Like, everyone has the overpowered gun out at the same time. No need to patch it. It's perfect.
I'm just imagining this guy
An octopus robot?
with 8 guns, 4 on each side, and he's got them all focused. So like he's got the snipers focused on the same spot as the pistols and stuff. So like the further out you get, the more ridiculous like the spread gets and stuff. He's just like grinning like an idiot, running around just blasting because you can't hide or anything. Like you can't bend down or do anything like that sneaky. He's just got towers of guns.
That's gonna be the subtitle. Halo 6, Towers of Guns.
No, it's like 11 or 12 or something.
What? Were
Well,
they
they're pretty innovative. You know, they take shooters from simply being a shooter to being a shooter with some decent graphics. Like,
I don't even say shooter anymore. Like, if I say video game, just assume it's a shooter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a
If I say video game, just assume it's Halo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else is an insult.
If I'm gonna be bringing up anything, just know that it's a segue to my infatuation with Halo.
Like, when I tell people, like, it frustrates me to hell when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer, and they're like, oh, do you know like Zelda and Mario? It's like,
Those aren't
fuck
games.
you guys. Like, I play Halo.
What are you? 10-year-old.
Look at this, what's this guy
Yeah.
playing stupid games.
Like I started playing like video games when like like 4 was cool. Like I started playing. There's a game called Halo 1 out there. Like that's when I started playing. Yeah, when I was a little kid, like probably 14.
I
was like a
I didn't
baby.
like that one because you couldn't play online with your friends. I mean, shooting aliens is one thing, but it's more about my friends knowing I shot the aliens.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play Grand Theft Auto 3 yet because my parents, I just moved out. I'm married, but not so much.
You probably don't have enough money to buy all these games.
Well, these games out there are so violent nowadays. Like, have you played Animal Crossing? Like,
Well, Animal Crossing, every other character is a homosexual.
yeah, like it's all about getting into debt, and it's like it's destroying kids to these days. Like you're constantly indebted to Tom Nook. Like it's terrible.
They let the boy character wear a dress.
Yeah, I saw that.
Why?
Like girls can walk in your house. It's like any old girl could like walk in your house. Like
That's not
that could,
Christian.
yeah, like that could end up in
Those are
like
relations.
excuse my French, but that could end up in sexual relations.
Those
Yeah.
are relations. Like, I've heard of these things people have, the youth relations, and
Yeah.
it goes too far sometimes. It just ruins everything.
Yep.
The devil takes over.
Yeah, that's what we really gotta be afraid of. Why can't there be more Christian games like Halo?
And I'm pretty sure like there's
The Gregorian chant, obviously featured in Halo exclusively.
I haven't asked my priest, but I'm sure he'd be okay with that.
Yes, no.
well, like why aren't there more games like Doom out there? Like where you're like ridding the world of demons. You are being a good person.
Yeah.
You know,
There's always like that Harvest Moon. Like
Mike, before you move on, I just want to let you know that 2 wrongs do not make a right.
You just gotta turn the other cheek. Don't let the
Go
devil
on
into
about
your heart.
Harvest Moon.
no, it's just another evil
Propaganda.
game. Like it's just
Babylon.
Harvest Moon is another one of the devil's tricks.
yeah, like the one on the
Well,
Game Boy Advance. You can like enslave
argue
little
with
elves.
that.
Like
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Well, I mean, slavery is okay. I mean, some people are more equal than
well, no,
others.
but they're white elves. Like
Oh.
they're good people.
Well, there's still little, which, I mean, God made them that way, so, I mean, that's, he wanted us to use them that way.
God.
It's more about the fact that you do not have a marriage in a church. All this pagan ritual, farming, and nature, it's not,
One of them, there's a
Godly.
harvest goddess.
there's only one God.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the harvest.
Like she's
God.
obviously the devil.
You know,
Of course.
I think a lot of the problems with our video games and stuff could have been solved had we just changed laws a little bit back in like the 1980s, somewhere or another, and made it to where you can elect a president for more than 2 terms, let Reagan write it out.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have any of these problems.
And just let Master Chief be the vice president?
Yeah.
That's what America needs.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can learn a thing or two from the Nazis on this one. I think some ways or not.
I think we should have invented.
We always can. The Nazis, they had great medicine. They knew how to really pull a team together.
They knew how to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Like their labor camps were like. I mean, they were making so much stuff for like so cheap on the dollar. That Holocaust thing is made up.
I still that is like a real quick
Liberal propaganda.
what is it like flashback of our first piece of crazy shit people say in real life. That was the worst thing I've ever heard somebody say, like, dead serious to my face. They're saying that. I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, why? How, man?
Hitler was a visionary.
Like, oh my god, like, come on, people. Like,
On some level, he was inspirational.
they're like, he had sex, man. Like,
He was a terrible guy.
like his butler getting his pants, man. Like, that's all that matters. Like, what do they care about when they look up to somebody? Like, I don't know, like, He seems to like use his brain and stuff. I don't know if I like that. Like,
He got laid though.
he did.
What can I do to be more like him?
Yeah.
Well, you know, like
Looks like he doesn't like. He's not a ginger. I can't do anything about that yet. But
to this day, like no
what
one,
else is there?
no one will get the Hitler's mustache. Like it's that well respected, you know.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. If I convince him, like, you guys should make a stand. like, I don't believe in this, but you guys should go ahead and voice this opinion.
Hitler, not that bad of a guy.
I mean, people should agree.
Reagan,
I would hope
2014.
not, but, let's see what happens.
It's too bad that his bloodline is lost. I mean, I really wish I could have been a descendant of Hitler.
I don't think his bloodline is lost. I'm pretty sure that there's a good percentage of gingers that come directly. They're out here spreading his word.
Science has discovered this day in science. We've discovered that all gingers are a branch off of Hitler's DNA, and
Maybe we can get the guy saying on South Park to make that into an episode in like 7 or 8 years or something. Let's see what happens.
They actually make episodes like week by week, like super fast.
yeah, I don't know how
They
do.
do.
Did you see the documentary?
They stay so fucking relevant. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, but yeah.
They're really the only shows that don't get worse over time. Like I do like the old like. I like it looking like construction paper, and it's too fancy now to like really have that cool sleek look. But other than that, like they are still just as funny as they've always been to me.
Maybe I'll have to try it again because I did stop watching it because it turned into like
I haven't watched this
Stop.
season.
When did you stop watching?
the last one I saw was the Pirates one where they ran away to be pirates.
That was a long, long time ago.
Has it gotten better? Because it kind of turned in from like I liked it better when
yeah.
it was its own story, but now it's just like every week they make fun of some celebrity and they just make him like, oh, he's got diarrhea. Like look how dumb they are.
Yeah, well,
Jews, faggots, gays.
They do different stuff, and it's not like every single episode is a home run. But it wasn't back in the day. They're like there's still some,
But I mean, they have some classic ones now. Like, do you see the Dog the
yeah.
Bounty Hunter one? Like,
Yeah,
I love how they have
saw
like
that one.
these like special moments at the end of every episode. Where just like you may think we're bad people, but like you should look at it from our point of view. Like we're not that bad. And well, they do this on the pedophile one where the NAMBLA guys are after like the kid and they're like so they have this little montage. I mean not montage. This little like moment of like niceness where the guy's like, you should see one day that we love 8-year-olds. We love young children. And, like we're not that bad. We just want to like have someone love like you do. And like this is like all soft music playing in the background. And then it goes to one of the kids like, dude, you fuck children. He's like, he goes back to soft music. Yeah, but you don't get it. Like there's more to it than, and then that goes back to like, dude, you have sex with children. And they're like, take him away. And they throw him in the cop car. I was like, that's awesome. They made fun of even themselves in some respect there.
Yeah.
Like Family Guy to me, I haven't watched it in a while. I have heard it got a little bit better, but I've kind of stopped watching that. There's not really a lot I watch anymore. Tosh Point is one of the few shows that I really like enjoy watching, but it hasn't really gone that long for one.
My brother watches that show, and I just can't understand how somebody can make a show of just showing things that are on the internet and just saying, "What's up with that?"
But he
what
does
were
it
they
so good.
thinking? It's like I just like, I want to watch the video myself, not some guy like showing parts of it and pausing. He's like, "Look at this idiot."
I don't mind it because he does it so good, but I don't know how Tosh gets away with some of the shit he says. Like, I forgot like the last stand-up.
always been his shtick.
I know, but I was watching I was listening to his last stand-up, which I've heard before, but I kind of forgot about it. But he said something like, New York gets all the cool plane crashes. I'm like, how the fuck do you say that? Like, and I love him for it. It's amazing. It's like, how do you have the balls, let alone the ability to get away with that? The balls to say it and the ability to get away with it.
So edgy.
So much.
People get blown up so fast in Hollywood. It's just stupid. People can't even keep up with that. They can't even make funny stuff that fast, and they just
Well, that's why I've been surprised because Tosh
sucks.
Tosh actually kept his
more.
he kept his like steamrolling like Dimitri Martin. He like blew up and then died, and then
Oh my god, he was.
he was so good, and then like he
You
just
liked
kinda-
Dimitri Martin?
I loved him, but then he really burned out. He was so kind of boring. And then
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't hate him, but I never really liked the guy with the puppets. I can't remember his name. but not the puppets, but the ventriloquist guy.
Yeah.
Jeff Dunham. Like, nothing wrong with him, but it just wasn't my thing.
He just turned into another, just like,
Yeah.
Arabs, am I right?
Yeah.
Mexicans.
It's like, or like, there's another one, like, fucking Carlos Mencia, like, got big and then
God.
died. So it's like Tosh, like, got big, and I'm like, whoa, he played his cards right. He didn't die. Like, he's still relevant and still funny, and most people actually like him. Oh, the other guy I was gonna say, like, I used to love him, but I can't stand him anymore now. It's sadly, like, cause he was really good, but I can't stand Dane Cook anymore.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like, I used to love him. He had, like, some of his, like, some of the things he'd say was fucking genius, and now it's just like, I see him and I just like instantly get like, turn the TV off. I'm like enraged and I'm done already.
Yes, thank God. I'm not too. Dude, I've been in a room where I'm the only one who feels that way. I'm just like, how can this be possible? He's not that good.
He was like, at least as a younger kid, he was amazing, but I just got old.
Yeah.
But
I never really liked him that much. Like, he had like one, like, well, obviously he only does like, he doesn't have a lot of jokes. His main joke is yelling loud.
Yeah.
So like the first one I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's funny. He's at a Burger King drive-thru and he's yelling loud. And then like everything he does is just him yelling. So I'm like, okay, he sucks. And then everybody liked him, and then everybody started to hate him. And I'm like, all right.
yeah, he does have quite a big hater audience too now. Like, it's kind of, I was surprised to see that. Like, everyone did kind of just turn on him. Like, I don't know how it happened. I don't know what he did wrong, but it just wasn't that funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's to the point where like, I almost feel bad like for like not liking him. But it's like, I can't help it. I don't like you.
Well, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You know what really pisses me off
What's that?
is when, alright, I was watching a commercial and it was Will Ferrell, and he stole one of his own jokes from a Saturday Night Live skit.
That is kind of annoying.
It was lame. It was like he wasn't even that character, and he used that character's joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
like
a different character.
that's okay to me. Like, that's him. Like, it's like Will Ferrell's got this like stigma of this weird, like, I don't quite know how to explain what his humor is, but
No.
he can just like literally he could like take a ship, put it in a bag, and sell it, and I'll buy it. Like,
No, little kids are gonna see that and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's Will Ferrell in that situation." I'm gonna quote the other situation. They're gonna not get it, and it's gonna be wrong. They should know the original.
I wonder, well, since it's a commercial, I wonder if it was the writer just being like, listen, man, I love this joke you do. He's like, you want me to come up with another joke for your commercial? No, tell the same joke.
Yeah, God, it was just
I surprisingly heard.
travesty.
I've only heard actually a review from one person, so I don't know if it's accurate at all. But I heard that Bad Grandpa wasn't as good as people expected, and I so hope that's wrong because I've yet to see it. But I am really excited to see that movie.
Which one?
Bad Grandpa, Johnny Knoxville.
Oh,
is
Jackass.
the old guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen it, obviously, but I wish they would just do crazy stunts. That was my favorite part. The parts where he's walking around as the old man aren't as funny.
Oh, I love those. But like, I heard it was more like, cause like, the guy who does the Borat films, like, I'm spacing his name, but
Oh,
like
Baron Cohen.
yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen, like, Borat to me was like a work of art. Like, it was amazing. And then,
Borat was pretty intense.
and then we did Bruno, which like, it kind of like started steering towards a little bit scripted, a little bit kind of crazy. But then I never saw The Dictatorship. I heard like it was
The
all,
worst. All
yeah,
scripted.
I heard it was all
Oh,
scripted. It's like,
stupid
that's
as
not
hell.
the thing is being like doing that when it's not scripted. You can tell. So I heard that, some of the parts for, Bad Grandpa or whatever were like too obviously like they were scripted. So I'm just hoping that it was a bad review because I really want to see that
Maybe
movie.
people in society are just like, you know what? I heard about these motherfuckers who run around and they act like they're from Kazakhstan and they call over like obese hookers to my nice family dinner. I ain't having any of that. No, like nobody can do that shit anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's true, but like I also think it's just so many idiots because I watched some videos with this guy that's kind of an idiot, and it's like they watch these videos that are obviously fake. Like you can just tell, like okay, like you can see the ad placement right there, or you can tell if it's fake. And they're like, "This is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah," like, but didn't you see the video where Ray William Johnson like exposed it? And he's like, "Yeah." Wait, you mean this video? I'm like, "Yeah." And like, "No, this is real, dude." I'm like, "No, I literally like seen behind the scenes, like it's fake." He's like, "No, man, it's real." I'm like, you could say it's real all day long, but I literally saw behind it, like, go type it in behind the scenes of this, like, you can see it's fake. Like, some people are just either idiots or they just want to believe it so bad that they don't care. They'll believe something's unscripted when it's scripted, like, so obviously scripted. So, I don't know. I could see it being obviously scripted and no one caring, but I could tell when it's scripted and it's gonna kill me if it's too much like that.
Yeah. It's comedy, man. It's hard. I don't know where to start or where to begin.
I haven't seen any good movies for quite a while, actually. I've just been like watching the old classics. Like I was watching Zoolander the other day, and it's like there's like no good movies anymore. It disappoints me.
Went through and just decided to watch horror movies, just like all the beast, just
In the spirit.
shit horror movies on Netflix. And they're pretty funny. Like some of them are actually really good. You just have to sift through them. Some of them actually had a little bit of money put into them and got good actors and stuff. Like, all the stories are really ridiculous. So.
I never got into horror. Like, I'm really, really picky at my movies, but like, if it's good, it's like, cause like funny doesn't need to have like a good storyline. Like, it's funny, so who cares? So if it's not gonna be funny though, it's like, it has to be like well written and deep.
And then like, the bad ones though, oh my god.
Yeah,
It's just like you can just take on some perspective. Like the director was going for this, like in this world, like everybody has to take like a quarter ounce of a mushroom trip or something like before they set off for their day, and just write it out.
some are like, but like instead of like it's so bad, like you're not laughing with it, you're laughing at it.
Oh yeah. Like, I just can't even believe that just happened right now. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, there's this one, though, that was made called The Haunting at Silver Falls.
Really?
Yeah.
I just heard about that one recently. Maybe you were telling me about it, though. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like all about how the Silver Falls are haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard like you could even hardly tell like anything related to Oregon except for one part where they're like behind the falls or something.
It like if you look at the landscape and everything, it's all Oregon. Like you can totally tell it's like Silverton and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and obviously like those woods, it's totally bland looking though. It's like there's a reason like they don't shoot these like exotic it's not an exotic forest,
Yeah.
And why didn't they get some pictures of the fucking waterfalls? Like none of that.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, you haven't seen it, but
No.
that's just
I'm trying to think where the hell I heard it, because I don't think it was you telling me about it. Someone else was telling me about it. They're kind of berating it. But
it was so funny.
Seriously.
It was so funny.
When's it from?
It was made in like May.
Also, it's recent.
Yeah, it's very recent. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it like Hollywood or who made it?
It's some just independent. It's like I looked it up on IMDb or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like $2 million to make or something. Just one of those cheap horror films.
Even that's more than that's a decent budget for being a terrible movie. Like people make decent movies on a lesser budget than that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. You say it's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Huh.
And like there's a scene where there's this cop that's there, and it's a Staten cop car.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I guess.
I wonder if they set it up like, hey, we're like give you money, but come drive around by
It's
us.
like exactly like in some ways you picture an Oregon like horror movie from around here. It's like some creepy people out in the sticks smoking weed, doing weird shit. Like that's like
It'd be kind of fun to make our own movie.
oh my god, it'd be so cool to do that.
I know Laven would talk nonstop about how much he wanted to make a movie, but
I made a lot of movies as a kid. We did some live action Dragon Ball Z shit, and we did a lot of like Lego clay animation Star Wars films.
Dude, I forgot about some of that shit.
I hope I can find those someday.
I lost so many of my tapes because, yeah, my brother and his friend used to make like all these weird karate movies.
Yeah.
What?
And I would run the camera for them. Like, I can't even remember what they were about, but they would have like a bunch of scenes and like have to go like in and outside of the house. And like, we had like a stupid shitty camera with like just a microphone built in.
Yep.
So like, they would be like super far away, like out in the yard, and they're like, film from here. And so all you see is just like the yard and like the wind and dogs barking, and they're like having a conversation out there.
It was funny. We had like this old camera from like the 80s, maybe like fresh out of the 90s or something, but like it looked like one of those huge cameras people, like the news people, carry on their shoulders, but it was just like lesser quality than most people have like nowadays, but it's just huge because it's old.
Yeah.
And we'd always like do the freeze, like just click the button on and off real quick for a frame, and then move the Lego guy a little farther. And we were filming down in the sandbox. We had a pod race going, and it was really cool seeing where we had these pod racers going around, and they're wiping each other out and like shattering and exploding around the like, trenches dug in the sand pit. And I had been doing this for a while, like I had it down to a science kind of thing, but like, not that there's really that complicated hitting the button on and off. But somehow I left for a minute to go do something up at the house, and I had two cousins that were working on it, and they weren't getting along that day, and they're arguing with each other about something. And so all you see is like I have this beautiful pod race like going, well, I mean not beautiful, but like beautiful by like middle school terms. And so we go to debut in front of the whole family, and
This is so funny.
and it's just like awesome pod race going back and forth, and all of a sudden you can tell right where I left because somehow they fucking screwed up turning it on and off, and pod race going, and all of a sudden just stops, and you just hear them arguing for like a minute. It goes like clicks forward. You hear them arguing for a minute. They reverse the buttons, so basically they're recording themselves arguing for a minute, and then it go like they move it like a little bit ahead. And then it'd just be arguing for a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, no, you guys, it's so good at first.
They're being such dicks to each other too.
You saw it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll have to find them someday, but it's just like,
I want to watch.
to this day though, if you go down that little sandbox down there, you go digging in there, you'll find Legos.
Yeah.
I've always used Legos and just like, it's like we've always used them like in like making movie sandbox down there, where like there's like Legos scattered throughout this whole house. I make Lego grenades out of firecrackers and Play-Doh, and
I want to see that video. That's so funny how they got the timing up, and now it's like
there's so many bad things to it too. Like I remember like I was like it was again like middle school, like I was all into the band Creed. So like first of all, you just tell everyone like I was in the band Creed, and everyone would cringe like, oh god. I'm like, yeah. So then there's a part where like I was like experimenting like with filmmaking, so I was like putting music into the stuff, but like we didn't have any editing software. So literally we had like a CD player playing a song as we recorded, and like I had to have like a spaceship like flying somewhere, so I just like had Creed playing and just like threw it across the camera, and then like part of it like you're talking and like you can't even hear over like the terrible music playing in the background. Like the music is louder than like the commentary going on, and it's like, oh god. It's so bad, but it's so funny. I don't remember the Dragon Ball Z films that much, but we do like a little bit like, we were like, again, like more experiment. It's probably like, I don't remember for sure, but it was something along the lines of like we learned that you can like turn the camera off and then like someone can move and turn it back on. So it's like, it's kind of like you like throw a punch and then like all of a sudden you're like fists, like you just go, but they're gone, and you're like, what the heck? And then they're behind him, and they're like, I'm behind you, Frieza, and you like, we were just like, this is so amazing, but like,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
I remember in my brother's movies, because it was just him and his friend, and they needed more characters. So the third character, whenever they need a third person, was like a rubber duck, but like this tall, like it was sitting on the ground. It's like meant for a swimming pool. So whenever they needed to do that, like he'd tackle the guy to the ground, and then like we'd stop the camera, like switch out the guy for the rubber duck, and then he'd just like be punching the duck, and the guy would walk up as a different character.
Oh my god.
So it's like people would just like turn into the duck, or like the duck would have a hat on in the background, and like,
Even then though, at least we were like learning things that not very many kids have. They like, we made movies back in the day thing, or built a trade.
Exactly what I was
Like,
gonna say. I was like,
like-
what do kids do these days?
yeah. Like,
They build like a weird structure that's unstable in the real world, but not on Minecraft. And
we used to take, my dad's an electrician, so he have a whole bunch of like pipe out there and metal pipe. So we used to take, a ton of electrical tape. So we used to take those noodles, those swimming ones that had a little hole in the middle of them, and we'd slide them over pipes, and we'd tape up the top and the bottom. So we'd leave a little bit for a handle, and we'd like lightsaber fight with like these noodle tubes, and they worked amazing. The only problem was the up top where we taped them, where the pipe is like kind of pushed against it, after fighting enough, it like hits the edge enough times and hits the edge enough times that it starts to split out and like cut the top of itself off. So like basically every fight ended like when someone got a bloody knuckle. But like so like eventually I don't know why we ever got, like I think we must have ran out of pool noodles or something like that. But my cousin Brandon was over, and then you remember Evan, right? Evan, he went to Regis with you.
Yeah.
Evan, I can't remember his last name. Marshall, yeah. And we decided to skip the tubes and just not hit each other that hard. But we took hammers and we all made ourselves little swords out of the pipes. And Brandon and Evan were playing or like sword fighting, and you know, like of course someone gets hit too hard. That's gonna happen, right? But of course we didn't think of that. But like, so Brandon hits Evan too hard, and Evan just like freaks out like with anger, just like he's like you. I remember what this was like. He just raged. He screamed something at Brandon. And I just remember seeing my cousin Brandon rightfully run. Like you don't like, maybe you could like, you know, take him on with your like metal sword and stop him, but like you don't want to cause any more damage. So like he just ran, and Evan's just chasing him with a metal like pipe sword. It's like, oh god, I thought someone was going to the hospital.
Yeah, I can see that kind of thing happening with those kids who rage too hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, and Brandon was completely normal. Like of course that accident happened, but the other kid had some rage issues, and oh god, he just took off after him. I thought someone was going to the hospital.
Just hide behind the door and let him destroy the door.
I don't even like. Well, we were outside, so they're chasing around somewhere outside. But like, I don't know what I would have done if my dad wasn't like an electrician. Like always weird. Like I've always like used electrical tape on something, or we even like I think that was also when we were filmmaking. We used to like. There's this like metal flex pipe, and it's always sharp at the end because you just kind of like cut it. So it's got this like 90 degree of like sheet metal that's like jagged. And we used to like kind of like whip it around. Like we were like making we wanted to do a crocodile hunter video, catching frogs and snakes. But when we got bored because we couldn't like, you can't find a frog and snake whenever you want. So like we take this thing and whip it around, and like crikey, it got me on the hand. We're like whipping ourselves with like jagged pieces of metal, bleeding, like for the camera. Like it's okay. It's all for the camera. So we're fucking stupid sometimes. Oh.
These were creative.
Yeah. I gotta know how many kids have built their own tree fort. Like they're like, oh yeah, me and my dad built like, no. My dad built one, and we built a rival one without any parental help. Like, we didn't want no parent help.
We told him that his was stupid.
Yeah.
And that it was wobbly.
Yeah, like there's like, you can see through the floorboards, and then they're like, I can't remember, no walls. Like, that's not true.
You need at least 5 nails per
Square
joint. Yeah.
We learned a lot though. I got to wood shop. Like to me, like after like doing that, like I'd never lost the ability to like put a nail into a piece of wood, right? So that's like so easy. Got to wood shop, and kids are like okay, they're like holding on with 2 hands and all wobbly, and like they're missing nails. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like I don't remember being this bad. Like it's easy to put a nail in, but I don't know. Life skills, man.
Yeah.
That tree fort literally blew down like 2 years ago. The tree, like we had a big storm. So I think he may have just burned it a couple months ago, but literally for like 2 years, the tree was laying on the ground, roots pulled up out of the ground, tree fort is still in the tree completely intact. I was like, we fucking built the tree fort stronger than a goddamn tree.
That thing was brutally tough, and like it had no cross supports at all. It was just straight up mass, just like a fucking rectangle of ultimate joints. Like it was like if we made this out of metal, we would have had somebody weld it like several times over.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we did that with nails and wood, and it worked out. It was awesome.
And we had a hella sketchy second story that
like
I don't know how it didn't ever kill us.
It was like a castle of sorts.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. And we get fucking bored, and we just hit the tree and like watch, like, cool, you can peel bark off the tree. I don't know how the tree, like, to me, like, I would think that we would have killed the tree, like that's why it tipped over, but like the roots got yanked out of the ground. That tree was just fucking resilient. Yeah.
It's intense.
We put like, there was probably like in some spots, like for a square inch, there was probably at least, in a couple spots, probably at least 10 nails, if not more.
Yeah, well, we'd use small nails, big nails, whatever nails would fit in whatever small little tiny slab of wood we could see. I don't know why we thought that was making it stronger, but We did it, and we did it for every single board. There must have been like 120 nails
Oh, yeah.
and like 2 feet of 2x4. I don't know how it didn't split,
Yeah. Didn't pre-drill anything.
but nothing. Yeah, no, you just oh, it looks like it's about to split. Pull it out. Hurry up, man. You don't fuck with that. Like
We had to remodel it once. So we ended up like, I think, I call it remodel, but like, it was like, we just took it down and rebuilt it. And like the first time we took it down, like, we took out like a couple nails, like nothing was coming out. Like it was sturdy. We took out, after we took a couple spots of nails, the whole thing basically just like collapsed. It's like, wow. So we were being supported by like a few
right.
slots.
Yeah.
But I think we built it the second time. It was pretty fucking sturdy. Like we learned a lot from that one.
Well,
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular.
I just remember being up there with like a bucket of like 1,000,000 nails that we could never ever pound all of them in.
Yeah. Well, like we started off with like just like scrap nails, and then we were digging around the shop and we found a hole because this house was built by, we bought it from the guy who built it. So like he left all the scrap stuff. So like there's a bucket. I don't know why there's rocks over it, but we found this bucket. Took the rocks, like just like thin layer of these flat round rocks. We took the rocks off and like there's a whole fucking bucket of nails. So then we could stop using the ragtag scrap nails. And I think at some points we're even like pounding screws in like nails. Like it was bad.
You just look at something, just be like, it's got like 6 nails in it. Yeah, well, we've got like 6,000,000 nails. Yeah, should we put maybe one more in? Well, I don't think it's gonna hurt. So we just
Couldn't hurt.
we just do it.
Oh god.
That was the getaway, though.
I just like the only thing that when I think of the tree fort, like the funniest thing to me is that second story though. Like we had like everything was held on by like there was 5 or 6 like points to hold up this like kind of like a hexagon like tree fort. The second story had like 3 points and one was pretty weak, and then like so we had like another like crossbeam coming out to the other corner that did absolutely fucking nothing.
We had no concept of trusses or anything at this point. We were just straight 90-degree cantilevers everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like we could get
It's
on the
horrifying.
main floor, which was pretty small, and we could like grab a branch and like, okay, here's the test, stress test it. We jump up and down, like push on it, like because you like you're not that far up, and you can like have something like if it breaks, you're holding on, like doing a little pull up. Second story, there's nothing to hold on, but like it was like even if there's something to hold on, like no fucking way would I've ever tested it. It was like you never went up there without like tiptoeing on the first couple like foot and a half or so, and then you'd never stand on the edge.
you just had to have a second story though.
Yeah, you had to. You absolutely had to.
We had to try to have one at least.
Yeah.
We fought that to the end.
Yep.
The bitter end. We were like, all right, we need to have another story, either up or down. Down is pretty tight.
We scouted other trees. I remember that.
But then we decided to go up, and
Yep.
our first attempts were horrible, and we
Yep.
tried to fix it, but we got bored.
Yeah. That thing was just tall enough too.
We decided to start skateboarding or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You skateboard, Jack?
I did, yeah.
I was
We had a
always
skate
terrible.
park in Almsville, so yeah.
Damn.
Someone,
Yeah, I used to ride from this house. I would walk, or I don't remember what I did. I don't think I had a bike, but I would go all the way to the skate park and skate out there.
so many posers there though.
I know, it was terrible.
There was one like old guy that's basically like Tony Hawk age though that would just go down there and rip though.
Oh, yeah.
Just like full on pads and everything. Just probably like some 30-year-old guy just, skating.
It was so
Everybody
bad.
else is like some like emo poser
Yeah.
or something, and he's just skating like legit.
It was so bad. Like, I remember my mom would like go down there in the summer and pick me up and drop me off, and she would go there, and like there's these guys that are like way too old, like that you guys like go get yourself a fucking job kind of thing. Like they'd have their girlfriend pick them up. So like my mom already didn't like these kind of like these crummy like shitheads who need to like get a life kind of thing. And so, but here I am like young, I can't stand up to these guys that are older than me, and so she would like roll into this driveway, the gravel like driveway for it, drop me off. I'd get up there and like go up there. They're like, hey dude, like tell your mom to like not drive so fast. Like when she comes in here, like she's dusting us out, man. I'm like, okay, well I'll tell her. So then she'd come pick me up. I tell her like, mom, they said like not drive so fast. And she basically like in her own like mom words would be like, you can tell them. I'm like, what's that? Like, you can tell them they can go fuck themselves because I don't give a shit what they think. I was like, I can't tell them that though, mom. Like, yeah, that was a pretty cool skate park as a kid. But yeah, there's always those kids that like You just couldn't enjoy yourself there. They were always going to be the kings of it.
Yeah, I mean, the benches were like constantly full of just people sitting there and nobody was skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you'd have one guy drop into bowls and he'd take up the whole entire skate park. It's like, well, he's better than me, so he's kind of got like there's this like mental like rank system going on. There's a little pecking order, and it's like I would like to drop in a small half pipe, but like you like get the balls to do it. Sure enough, he sees you and he's like starts skating in the air, and you're like, well, fuck, I can't. Like it was kind of irritating like that, but I don't know. I did eventually drop into that little 4-footer, and I was so proud.
Oh, the half pipe?
Yeah. That's all I ever wanted to do is just carve bowls. I didn't care if I could do a kick flip or anything. Like, I just wanted to carve bowls. Everyone was like into street skating. I'm like, fuck no. All I care is about doing that vert.
I was the other way. I would just do street and like, well, almost nobody when I was there would do vert. Just the one guy in the bowl.
Yeah.
But just the whole like area facing the street.
Yeah.
The ramps and rails.
Well, I just loved it because it was just like surfing kind of thing. Like you're just like going fast and it was awesome. But everyone like, just for street, like, I mean, for absolutely everything almost, you have to be able to ollie, but I could never fucking ollie, which is like the basis to every like move in skateboarding. So it's like, well, I'm fucked for street. Like, and I always had like these wheels. Like, I don't remember. It was always just like, I'd skateboard out here. So you get like a pebble. Like you do something cool and you hit the pebble and you just launch off your board. It's like, nope, I'm fucking done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just sticking to vert because I was so tired of it. And then people started getting like these gel wheels. I'm like, oh, I could actually maybe skate in the street, but I don't know. Like I bought like a new board every summer and I'd always sell it to someone for like way underpriced or like do something stupid with it. Like I don't know how I got a new board every summer, but I was terrible. I should not have bought a new board every summer. And it was always a high end board, like $60 board, like $40 trucks, and like $20 bearings or whatever the price. Like it was just top end everything. I'd end up spending like $350 on a board or something, or
build
$250.
your own, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun though. I was always spending on something like because I used to get card games as a kid as well. I put so much money into cards.
I remember nobody at my school, elementary school, knew how to play any card games, so we would just always make up our own rules.
That's true. No one knew how to play Pokemon, which is kind of ironic because out of all the card games I played, Pokemon was one of the best ones actually. So it's kind of funny that no one knew how to play Pokemon. They just collected
It's so
it.
easy, yeah. I remember one match, I was sitting there playing in my driveway with like the kids down the streets, and I would like get good cards and everything and like try to learn how to play. So I'm like, all right, boom, boom, evolve all this stuff. And like they look at each other, they're like, we got him. And then they played like a trainer card called Pokeball. They're like, bam, we caught your Pokemon. And I'm like, that's not what that does. They're like, it's a Pokeball. It catches your guy. I'm like, read what it does. It just lets you draw an extra card or something stupid. They're just like, whatever, I quit then.
Yeah. Oh man. I remember like you'd always be like, there'd be like a bad print or something like that. So one card would be off color. And everyone would be like, nope, it's counterfeit. I'm like, you realize it'd be easier. Like, I mean, as a kid, you're like, you followed it. But like now I was thinking like, it'd be easier just to go buy that fucking card than like get a card printer, like legitly print off Pokemon cards onto it. Like it's a $2 card. No one's going to fucking counterfeit it. But as a kid, you're like, nope, it's got a funny yellow tinge to it. It's not real.
Huh.
We were so anal about all that stuff as a kid. I never saw a Charizard till like way late. Never even seen one. Actually, no, I think good old Tim had one.
Tim did have one.
Maybe it was just a Venusaur though. I can't remember because just
I had a
Venusaur,
Venusaur.
Blastoids, and Charizard were all like, if you had one, you were like, God.
I pulled the Blastoise. I'm pretty sure I did, and I traded it for a Venusaur to somebody. And I think it was like Robert or something.
I always
Like
wanted.
we had all of them around, and Tim had the Charizard though. You're right.
I remember I proxied on something like we'd play something as a kid. Like we'd play like it was like very very basic rules. Like we didn't understand how like everything worked.
No energies.
So we like no energies. We'd split a starter deck in half, and I'd always remember like, okay, fine, you can have them a champ because that was the big card that came in the starter deck. You can have them a champ, but in the book there was a picture like teaching you how to play. There's a picture of Charizard, but I'm like, but this blah blah this water energy counts as Charizard or something like that. So I always had a Charizard. So it's kind of like we were playing at the babysitters and I'd always win. It was kind of like a stalemate until Charizard came out, and then it was just like 100 energy, you're dead. And the next one was 100 energy, you're dead, or 100 damage, you're dead. And it's like, but everyone was like, always thought like I could beat Mike, I could beat his Charizard, but nope, never. It wasn't that they're bad. It's just you can't beat Charizard by those rules.
Yeah.
I also think it wasn't like you didn't even have to evolve. It was just more like hey, I got Charmeleon, bam. Like you didn't have to have a Charmander out first, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember us finding out like there's all these rules. What a bummer, man.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I could just like throw out Charizard.
Yeah.
Didn't take like 20 seconds. It was BAMF. Like,
I wonder what the first card game I actually played was. I would it be Yu-Gi-Oh? Was Yu-Gi-Oh the first one we played? I don't remember because there's a whole blur of cards. Like I went from Pokemon to Dragon Ball
you
Z,
played Dragon Ball.
but when I remember same with Dragon Ball Z when I first started.
Was it a
I
Dragon
just-
Ball Z card game?
Yeah, it was actually really fun. That was my favorite game I'd ever played. And I just collected Dragon Ball Z cards again. Like I didn't play with them. I just collected them, and then eventually started playing. And I played a lot of them. I actually, out of all the ones I haven't played, I recently played Magic last year because my cousin wanted me to get into it. I'm like, I'm not getting into anything, but it wasn't a bad game, but it's just too there's so many cards that's kind of unpredictable. Where I liked Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, like at the time before a lot of sets had been released, it was like small enough you could still it was predictable, but to a point where you can make smart predictions or good guesstimates. Now it's more like I have no idea what's up your sleeve because there's just a million things, and it's just kind of lame.
Yeah. I think Pokemon was the only one I ever tried to play, and I didn't play it that seriously. It was just another aspect to Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at a point where, before any of the expansions, you knew every card there was that was
Yeah.
out there. So you're you knew all the strats.
Mm-hmm.
You could build your deck and be like, all right, this is how I play.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Yu-Gi-Oh was a good one while it lasted, but I can't remember all of them. I played Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z. What's that?
Play Magic.
Just last year when I played a little bit with Brandon, but it's one of those ones just too unpredictable. There's so many things out there. But and then some game called L5R. That was all right. I literally that's another old one with a lot of cards, but I was so into gaming. That's where I finally started getting some money and knew how to look things up on the internet. I made it was like a green deck or a Mantis deck, and I looked up every card ever released that could possibly be so I looked up every card and okay, what's the best deck I can build with all these, and literally just eBayed everything I was missing. And it's kind of it almost kind of ruined, internet ruins the games because you can just look up what the best deck is and then go buy it. There's no collecting to it. You can just put it on eBay and there it is now.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing against people who also do that.
Yeah. But yeah. It's almost just more at that point, a little bit of
There's that aspect missing still.
yeah, it's
Being a kid, buying booster packs whenever you can.
That was fucking intense.
that was like playing the fucking lottery. I remember
was.
shaking while opening booster packs and those were good times.
Especially since in Elmsville, there was a guy's dad who lived a few streets away who would just buy a bunch from the store and then resell them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everybody in town, you didn't have to go to Salem or whatever. You could just walk to this guy's house and buy them.
Well, that's how I was the little card kingpin back in the day, because I remember I started taking those sleeves that are clear on the front and these ones happen to be red on the back, but just sleeves for cards. And I started I'd make my own booster packs at school. I'd tell the kids okay, everyone's guaranteed to have a rare in them. I made seven. I made 10 packs or something this week. I'm there's one ultra rare in these 10 packs. Everything else is has at least a rare and a holo in it kind of thing. Just the legit booster packs. And I just started selling my because you have so many dupes. What do you do with them? So I just started selling them. That's the only way to sell them. And I remember I think I sold out all 10 packs at one point. But
That was a good idea.
yeah, that was a pretty good marketing idea for a little kid. What happened to me? I was a genius kid. But yeah, I remember some kids would get so angry too. Aaron Malt's brother, this guy we know, he wouldn't talk to me. And his little brother actually also would stop talking to me for a couple of days because his brother wanted to trade me for a card. And so I guess he carried around the binder for 3 days, and every day I was busy or I was sick one day, and third day I kind of looked at the cards because he really wanted one of my cards. So I'm looking at all of his cards, flipping through pages. I'm just there's nothing I want. Like I don't want anything. So he like slams the book and like fuck you, Mike, and like puts it in the back. Like what's the issue? He's like carry these cards around for 3 days. Like carry our cards around every day. And like his older brother, the one that wanted my card, like wouldn't talk to me. His little brother wouldn't talk to me for 2 or 3 days just because he was so angry that I wouldn't trade him. I was like, what do you want? Like it's so funny to see how seriously we took that stuff back in the day. We got in so many fights over that. So many.
I wish nobody would ever play the Game Boy game at school.
Oh man,
Not at my school.
that's how I know Pokemon. Like Pokemon Red is like I can't decide between Pokemon Red and Ocarina of Time, but I bought Pokemon Red when I didn't even have a Game Boy. I just went around borrowing everyone from 3rd grade. Like I just borrowed their Game Boy for like 2 weeks until like they're finally like my mom says I have to have it back now. Like and I just move on to the next Game Boy. I beat it without owning a Game Boy.
I always imagine it would be so cool. Like I would bring my Game Boy and my Pokemon game, and I bought a link cable, and I'm like, "Come on, guys, let's have a tournament, let's have a fight." But nobody else would
that
play.
was such a bummer.
You were on the fancy consider the link cable. Like that was always a dream of mine. I'd never like.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Everybody's all like, "Yeah, nobody had the link cable." I'm just like, "It's a goddamn cable. It's $10. Go buy
I know it's weird, like to think, but that was so out of reach as a kid for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Couldn't even fucking get batteries half the time. We had to steal them out of remotes and stuff around school and shit.
God, I hated that old Game Boy that took 4 batteries.
Those were good times. Man.
Well, you got any fake announcements, real announcements?
Fake announcements?
Fake real announcements?
Ian's getting fake boobs next week, so
Yeah, lucky.
just in time for us to start doing video podcasts, so you can just stare at his boobs the whole time. And
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
if you're into hairy nipples,
we're not gonna alter the hair follicles or anything.
Maybe shave the armpits though.
No. We can't just like pick and choose what style I'm gonna go with. We have to go one or the other here, Jack.
I accidentally, through an online shopping mistake, I bought 99 hats. But it's one of those things from China where they just send you a random thing. So hopefully they're all different. So when we start video podcasting, I can show those off. And I'll commission Mike to sell me a nice outfit that'll go along with each of them.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. It's the end of season 1 of Super Effective.
Yeah.
So soon.
In a month we'll start season 2.
Yeah.
Slow clap.
Golf clap for me.
Go team! Stop those shoplifters.
They have no idea, the listeners. That could have been a standing ovation to them.
It was.
Yeah, why not?
It's all about
These are
trust.
fake announcements.
What's that? All the announcements you guys had?
Sadly, I think that was it.
Super Effective. Peace out. The announcements are fake, but the tears you shed and the happiness we feel is real.